the sound.
That's us, but we won't be able to
But you
hear
can
him.
click on the thing, right, and it'll tell you the output. So that's the same.
So he should be able to hear us.
Cindy
It's-
can, oh, but we can't hear her.
Or yeah, we won't be able to hear her.
Oh, no, we can now. Cindy, will you just try talking so we can see if we can hear you? Maybe not, maybe she can't.
Can you hear me?
We can. We have the volume up too loud, so we're deaf now. Just kidding. I think like 40 is probably good. Right? So was there a secret to get that volume? Just trying, just waiting, patience.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I got it. Hey, so far it's just us. I know, in like the further we get into June and into July, it gets a little bit harder for people to come, so. We'll just chat. On the last class, you weren't able to come at all, right? Cindy, I think you weren't there.
No, sorry,
Yeah.
I had you muted.
Oh.
No, I wasn't able to because I had to work late and like today I just got off. So I was
Okay,
like, I'll just do the Zoom so that I don't miss anything.
yeah, I love it, I love it. So we had, just a little challenge at the end of the last one. To call and talk to, you picked a number of people that you wanted to call and talk to before tonight. And I know you're
Okay.
school, but so you can call and tell people like, hey, I'm in real estate school and I'm just making sure that I'm gonna have all of the information up to date. For you, and so I wanted to just see if I can update your contact information. Have you already started doing that?
Yeah, so I have a couple people who they're like, well, we want to sell like towards the end of the year, so hopefully you have your license by then so that we can use you to sell our current home and then help us buy like our new home. And I was like, definitely, like if you guys will wait for me until the end of the year, like I'm good. But
Yeah, I love it. When do you think you'll be done with school?
so right now I am almost done with unit 12. And then so I'm trying to do at least 2 units per day, depending on how long they are.
Right, okay. So you're
So
not quite, right?
what was that?
How many units are there? I think you're not quite halfway.
I think there's 28.
Yeah, that feels right. That's what I think there's. So, okay, awesome. So the lead that you already have, do you have all of their, like, you have their name, their home address, because they're wanting to sell, right?
Yes.
And then you have their phone number and their email?
Yep. I have all of that.
Perfect. Do you have their birthday? Do you happen to know?
I think I have it in my calendar just because we do like they're friends of ours.
Okay.
They're family friends, and so like I celebrate with them every year. So I think I do have it in my calendar because I do have all our friends' birthdays in there, just in case.
Awesome. I love it. Well, I think you'll have it by the end of the year, and that's motivation to get it by the end of the year, right?
Yeah, definitely. My goal was to try and get it before July started, but things got a little hectic last week and the week before, and so it put a damper in getting it all done.
Yeah, you might have it by the end of July though.
Yeah, I'm hoping. Soccer season starts at the end of July, and so it'll make it harder for me to study if I don't finish before then. So
yeah, I totally get that. Hi, Kimber. My name's Allison. I don't know. I know we've met, right? We've met at Bold, maybe. Probably. Kimber, right?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Awesome. Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, yeah, yep, we've met at Bold.
Okay, perfect. And you've probably met Jessie too, because she was.
Yes, I love Jessie.
Same thing. Oh my God, I love it. Yeah. Kimber, you tell me about your pipeline because you're fully licensed and you have been
Yes.
for now.
Yeah, I
Okay.
just hit my 2-year mark.
Oh,
But I just barely joined with Keller Williams at the beginning of the year. And so I've kind of just been trying to soak up all the training that you guys have to offer. So
yeah, I love it. I love it. So tell us about, are you working another job or just doing real estate?
yeah, I work a full-time job at the IRS as well. So I'm doing that right now. So I'm kind of I work from home luckily, so it makes it a lot easier for me. But yeah, I work a full-time other job as well. And I'm a
Okay.
full-time mom. So 3 jobs.
So you're all over the place, scrambling everywhere.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, you gotta ask a busy person, because that's who gets stuff done. So, tell me about your lead generation. What does that look like right now with
So-
you? You've got the experience of Bold, which probably taught you a lot about lead
Yeah.
generation.
Yeah, it taught me a lot about that conversations matter, and to be intentional with having conversations daily around real estate. So, but my entire um, lead generation is basically my SOI. So I've been lucky and fortunate enough to be able to thrive off that so far. But I do have that fear that that's gonna dry up, and so I need to expand that elsewhere.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and you can expand your SOI through your SOI, right? You're asking them like, hey,
Yes.
who else do you know that I should know?
Yes. Yeah, that's something I definitely need to get better at. And I have noticed that is way more taught and talked about at Keller Williams, which I love. You know what I mean? Because it's like the simple things like that. You're already there having the conversation. So we should be throwing that in.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. So you guys, I don't know, have you been getting emails from me, Kimber, from Ignite? think
I
so.
don't know if it's directly from you. I'm not for sure. I don't think so.
Okay, I feel like you were on my email list. I'm gonna look right now. I'm gonna look right now. Okay, oh, you know what? I don't have your email. That's why. What's your email?
It's Kimber, KIMBER, rate, RAITT .re@gmail.com.
Okay, I'll make sure I get those.
Thank you. Yeah, because I might have to hop off and just randomly here and there throughout the training tonight. So
Yeah, or just mute yourself and turn the volume down or something, whatever you gotta do. Or if you have to hop off, you get it. So you guys, you have been an agent for 2 years and you have just always lead generated your SOI.
yes.
And that's kept you busy. Is your goal to go full-time real estate all the way?
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
What does your goal look like to have that happen?
Well, when I talked to Blaine about it when I first joined, I said 12 deals a year. Um, I'm I'm about to, well, I was about to hit my 6th deal this week, but the buyer backed out. But anyways, so he's like, you're already on track to hitting that faster than you thought. So I'm re-expanding that to 20 deals this year. So if I could do that, I could totally do real estate full time. But then it's just making sure I can repeat that 20 every year or more every year,
Yeah, yeah, I love it. I love it. I love a good dual career success story because that's how so many agents start. It's so scary. You started this dual career, right, Jesse?
No,
You just jumped right in.
actually,
Oh, that's right.
COVID killed my,
COVID ruined your
yeah,
job.
so I was doing unemployment, then went to school, and then I had 2 months of unemployment, and then that was it after I was licensed, so. Yeah, so sink or swim.
Yeah, yeah, burn the boats, burn the bridges. I love it. I love a good dual career success story because that is how so many agents start, or in a situation like yours where you lost your job and what am I gonna do now?
Yeah, oh yeah, yep, oh, I definitely struggled for a minute, but that's just kind of how it works.
Yeah, yeah. And Cindy, what about you? Your goal is to go full-time to real estate and have that be your only job?
Yes,
Or-
eventually I'm hoping to be able to quit my accounting job and just do real estate full time.
I love it. I love it. What, do you know what that would take for you to do that?
Not yet.
Okay.
I'm
So-
still trying to figure that out.
Yeah, so our average commission, I'll do a little thing to help you figure that out. Our average commission per transaction in our office right now is right around $11,000. So you
Okay.
can, calculate based on how much money you need to replace and how much money you need to make in a year, and then divide it by 11, or yeah, divide it by 11,000, and then that's how many deals. And then I would give yourself like a 1 to 2 deal buffer, right? Because we want to upgrade our life too.
Yeah, definitely.
So, and then we can break it down to how many people you need to talk to each day. That's one thing. Kimber, you've probably done this with Blaine or somebody, and I think we did it in Bold as well. The lead generation model. So we can break it down so that you know exactly how many people you need to be having conversations with each day, and how to track those and how to follow up with them. So
Yes.
we write down to what you gotta do each and every day. What, we pound lead generation so hard in Ignite, and in a different class we teach called Bold as well. So besides building relationships and lead generating, what is one thing that you guys have learned from attending Ignites, or Kimber, even just from you being at Keller Williams now? Like, what's something that you have learned and implemented or are planning on implementing?
Let me about that for a second.
Yeah. Yeah, what about you, Cindy?
I've learned so much from Ignite, like just different ways on how to get leads, what kind of like what everybody does to do like their open houses to make them work a little bit better. And there's just so much information that I wasn't aware of when I did start Ignite. So
Right, we don't always know what the real estate job really is. We think it's just selling houses when really it's building relationships, and so I love that. So our class tonight is about following up with leads. Jesse's gonna teach that. And then, yeah, and I'll introduce her to and do a little interview with her. And then Jenny Erb is a agent that's been around for a while, and she's gonna teach about strengthening relationships, right? Or you're not doing that, right, Christy? Jenny's teaching, not you. Okay. Yeah, okay. So, and Jenny's gonna teach about strengthening relationships, because really, once we get the leads, or once we get into conversations with people, how do we get them to convert over and do business with us and want to work with us? So that's what they're gonna teach you about tonight. So I will interview you when we might get some in-person people too. We have,
Traffic was horrendous, like.
this
it
is
took
my
me
first time not having anyone
like
in person.
20 minutes,
Okay,
an extra 20 minutes from Far West to get here.
To get here.
So,
20 minutes.
well, it was like
That's a
16,
long-
but then I
That's a long time.
deviated and it took me even longer, but yeah.
We're trying to avoid it. I
Yeah.
love it. Okay, so this is Jessie Tolman. You, Kimber, you've met her, but I'm gonna still interview her anyways, so for all of you guys, but tell us how long you've been in real estate.
So this September will be 4 years.
This September, it'll be 4 years.
Yep.
It's flown by, right?
Yeah,
It's
it
so
has.
fast. Does it feel like 4 years?
No, not at all. Feels like 2.5, maybe 2. Well, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like to credit Jessie with part of the reason I'm here. Because I was thinking about joining this office from my past brokerage, and I just was like, I'm gonna see if they practice what they preach. So she had a listing in a neighborhood that I was gonna have an upcoming listing in, so I just called her. She didn't answer, and so I texted her. She texted me back though, and just was super nice. And I was like, they do practice what they preach. So then I was like, I'm gonna sign up. So then that's when I moved here. So I love that little story about, because you didn't even know like that was happening.
No. I was like, okay, yeah, I'll share whatever I've got. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. So, what is your favorite lead generations strategy?
Honestly, I think I would have to say my favorite is setting up outside of my family's 7-Eleven and chatting with people. Like, yeah, I mean, you get a lot of, it's something I've learned from that is what caliber of person you're aiming at. really depend on the location and the people that you're talking to. So a lot of those people are not people that are cool at the moment, so they're kind of long game, but yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. What's your least favorite way to lead generate? Or one you'll never try?
I don't feel like there's one I'll never try. I'd have to say, see, I don't honestly mind cold calling. I don't like calling my sphere. Because it's so
Super common.
abnormal for me to call anybody in my sphere unless there's like a problem. So I'm sure half of them, if I give them a phone call, they're like, what the heck?
They're like, what happened?
Yeah.
What's going on? Why are you calling me?
Why? So that's just been my ongoing trouble is dealing with my own sphere and making sure I'm following up and calling them. I usually end up Facebook Messenger.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's my bad habit is I default to Facebook Messenger when I don't
Yeah.
feel like I want to call them.
Yeah. I love it. I love that. That is super common. Most agents come in scared to call their sphere. And they would rather cold call or talk to strangers than call their sphere. But can you do business by talking to nobody?
Nope.
So you gotta figure out who you're gonna talk to. Is it your sphere? Is it strangers? But somehow, and it's not comfortable. We have to get uncomfortable.
I love talking to strangers, so I don't know, that never scares me. Like the thing I always remember is the worst thing they can say is no.
Yeah.
I mean, they could say much meaner things, but you always have the option of hanging up the phone.
Yeah.
And it's not like we're at a call center. I've worked at a call center. It's not like we're at a call center where they've got your calls recorded and you're gonna get in trouble for hanging up the phone. So they steer it to you.
Right.
So,
Right.
yeah, you're just like, okay, bye. Have a great. Kill them with kindness. That's at that point. I just get super nice and super sweet.
Like,
And
oh, you
so
poor,
they're the
you
jerk.
poor sweet thing. You sound like you in love.
Yeah. I'm like make them feel like the jerk. I'm sorry. I'm going down a rabbit hole on that. But that's that's
Yeah.
what it is.
I love it. I love it. Where did your first transaction come from?
My very first transaction, it actually came from my team lead. She just had so much business. She's really developed a referral-based business that just keeps feeding her. And it was when the market interest rates really tanked in order to keep everything afloat, and people just were like, free money basically at that point. And so she just had this number of ears, couldn't handle it. So she just, I mean, we didn't even know where we were gonna start or how things were gonna go. I just kind of rode shotgun for a couple of deals, and here we are.
Yeah.
What nearly will be coming up on my 3 years?
You said 4.
Yeah, 4 years. We just did have my
2020, so.
yes, we just had my 3-year anniversary with her in like Marchish, I guess.
Okay.
I don't ask me all that time went.
I
have no
love
idea.
it. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so Jesse's on a team, but there's only 2 of you, right, that are in production?
Yep.
On the team. So her and Kaylee Miller, so if you guys know them. So Kaylee runs a referral-based business and she had too many leads. So
Yeah, that's where
So
I
you
got
got with
mine
Jesse?
started, and I've had a few of my own, a good amount of my own. I still had a lot of previous business.
Yeah, but you've now learned how to do and
Yeah.
build your own business as
Yes,
well.
exactly.
And run it together. I love it. One thing I like too is real estate is so lonely and hard to do alone. And so it's kind of fun when you're working with someone else.
Absolutely. I couldn't imagine not doing it on a team or with a big office like this where everybody's all together.
Mhm.
Like everybody works together, come to team meeting, everybody's willing to share their tips
Yeah.
and secrets and help you out. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I like about this group too, is because there's 36 people in coaching right now. And so they do a lot of stuff teaming up together.
That's
Like lots
awesome.
of door knocking together.
I-
lots of-
I was honestly just thinking about it, like, even if you're not on a team, I would definitely partner up with another agent. You don't even have to create another team, but just for like doing things together.
Yep. Yeah.
Because it would be so lonely. It's funny that you mentioned that, because I was thinking about that while like doing my hair today.
Yeah. It's crazy. So, do you guys have any questions for Jesse?
I do not.
I love it. I love it. Kimber, did you want to share? I don't know if you were able to share, if you had a chance to think about what's something you really learned, either from Ignites or just from being. You didn't know before?
You definitely need to keep track of your people, because I didn't use like a CRM base previously. I had one available to me, but I was just like, oh, I don't need to use it. I'll remember all the info, and you won't. Like make it easier on yourself and put everything into your command and have your business work for you. So
I would say there's nothing more embarrassing than when like you have somebody that's kind of slowed down and gone away a little bit and they come back and you're like, crap, what were you pre-qualified for? What did you need out of the home? Like, was it a 3-bedroom or did you need a 4-bedroom? And you have to ask again.
Or,
I hate that.
or you're like, how's little Johnny? And they're like, he just graduated, like. you're like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
yeah.
I didn't know you're 8 kids age.
Yeah.
I think that is a huge mistake a lot of agents make, new and not new in the business, is using their phone as their database and not keeping notes on people or having reminders when to follow up with people.
Yeah,
For sure, for
that's
sure.
what I'm going over today. That's
Yeah.
on the docket.
I love it. I love it. Okay, well, I'm gonna let Jesse get started and then, Jenny Herb will be here soon to hopefully. Remember the clicker right here. I'm not gonna stay the whole time. I'm sick. Yeah, my little guy is sick,
Poor bud.
but he is not a sickie, so.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
That's always a bummer. I miss this guy. So I got him scared.
I wanna keep looking at the TV when I'm talking, but they can see your face in the camera.
Yeah, I know, that's the
Right.
hard part. Luckily, the little guide gives me like the pictures of what's on the TV, so I know what's happening. Hello, welcome.
How's it going?
Was traffic wild getting here?
It's crazy.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, it took me an extra, it was 20 minutes, but the Google Maps told me 16 minutes, and I was like, I'm gonna make it, and then I was like, there is no way I'm staying on the freeway, and it's red all the way from Far West to past Roy, so I got off, and that was another mistake. Like, never deviate, never deviate.
Pretty rough.
Pretty crazy.
But yeah, you're 25 minutes-ish after.
Yeah.
Where you from, where you intended.
I know.
This is Tyson. So
Tyson.
this is Jesse, and then
Nice to meet you.
Cindy and Kimber are online. I'm gonna hang out for like a couple more minutes and see before I go back.
Yeah, I totally thought I was gonna be super late, but we good?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it's
Perfect
just
timing.
everyone. Oh, the mouse.
it's the mouse. instead
Well,
of-
no, it'll be that. I'll just. I'm trying to. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Oh, quick question. I don't know if you know. Can I get on and do command on here?
Mhm.
Do a command demonstration? Do I just need to use the mouse to?
And you can like escape. Yeah, and then on there, and then it'll lower that speed and then you can.
Perfect. I'm like, that's helpful stuff, but, I'm not very, good. I stand up very, I would figure it out, but I don't like.
Yeah.
In front of people.
Yeah, you'll be, I'm gonna.
Okay, so last time we discussed lead follow-up, communication with the purpose of opening the door to two-way communication. Today, we're gonna be talking about what happens next. So, once you get a response from a lead and your goal is to convert that lead into an appointment. And this is actually an aha I just had recently. Because in my head, like I constantly want to show houses. I love showing houses. I feel like that's how I get my foot in the door. I get people excited. Like that's what jives with me. But I've come to realize that that is one, gonna go away because of the NAR settlement. And two, not an effective way to do business or get my clients or people I'm working with to think of me as a business person, as a business professional. So making sure that we're going to an appointment and meeting with them first as an appointment to show them what we have on offer and that we're professional is essential versus just going and showing houses all those years. So that was just something that I came into my realization recently. Oh,
All right.
what is your name?
Dustin.
Dustin.
Good.
Welcome.
Thank you.
I'm Jesse.
Not really.
Nope, you're good. We just had a whole conversation about how terrible the traffic is today.
When I come from Salt Lake, cause I work out in Salt Lake, so. There's a rollover on the freeway and shut everything down.
Well, it's perfect timing because I just started.
We,
You're good. You're good.
do we have the handout?
Oh, I don't know if there's
Was there one
handouts. Allison, did you have handouts? Not last week.
Did you get one of them?
Yeah, she handed me one, but I don't know where she went with the rest of them.
Allison,
You get you?
Yeah, I just got here like 5 minutes ago.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna be so late and then.
Well, I was trying to log on, right, with this thing, I still can't figure out how to get this to work.
Mm,
Have you figured that out yet?
no, I've always just come in person, so I haven't tried.
Yeah, it's like. Oh. So it's sitting in traffic for like a half an hour.
You're like,
Come on, how do I
alright,
hold
let's
this thing
figure
up?
I guess Bradley only printed one. Can I just make a copy?
All right, so before we begin, let's hear about your progress with the success system. So you guys had homework and we just kind of chatted about it a little bit, but last week it sounds like you guys had a number of people you were supposed to reach out to.
5. So
Five.
mine was 5. I ended up getting 4.
Okay,
And I was trying all morning this morning and I couldn't get no way to give you the information, but I did secure a last one this morning at 4. So I
awesome.
got 4 and I got a possible lead that was from yesterday. Where I sent in the information, right, the neighborhood thing.
Yeah,
I emailed it to him and he just happened to look at it over the night. He was like, the house was worth that much. So he
that's so
So
cool.
he came to me and said, maybe I'll list this, maybe I'm thinking, maybe I ought to get rid of this house while the market's good. And I was
Yeah.
like,
Sometimes it's literally just creating a space for that conversation, like changing their frame of reference for what their house would do for them. You know, that's awesome.
so I did 4 out of the 5, I didn't get my goal, but I did get close.
That's better than nothing, right? How about you, Tyson?
I'm still in school, so I'm just kind of casually reaching out to people like, hey, I'm in school and doing this. So I reached out to a friend of mine who's moving soon. So I'm trying to like got a conversation going, trying to figure out if she's trying to rent again, if she was renting or if she wants to try to buy. So
Yeah.
just talking to her about that. So
That's awesome.
that was the contact.
That's good. We just want to constantly develop those habits straight from the start. And then you can't fail if you're doing constant outreach. Okay. Like, let's see. So yeah, we are on step 11, follow up with leads, and then later we'll have Jenny that'll go over strengthening relationships. It's kind of funny that the previous one was keep every lead because I feel like a lot of the information that I'm giving you is similar to keeping every lead. It's pretty quick, so I'm actually gonna go through this really quick and then I'm gonna show you guys a little bit more about Command and how it'll help you maintain your database. So that's why I'm gonna get on the thing. Okay. I'm like, now I'm lost on my notes. Okay. So by the end of today, we will be equipped to apply the lead conversion model, develop your system, because everybody's system is a little bit different, for capturing, cultivating, converting, and closing leads, so 4 C's. And then we will apply proven methods to increase your conversion rate over time. So see, and I'm like, does everybody know what conversion rate is? We're not to that point yet. That's why there's a guide for me. Okay, so the very first part is learn lead conversion. So often people assume that lead generation and lead conversion are the same, and that is not the case. At its core, lead generation is when you turn activities, that's prospecting and marketing, into leads. Lead conversion happens after the lead is captured and is part of the lead follow-up. This is unique because these are the activities that turn leads into appointments with the end goal of the transaction. So what do you guys know what we call a lead after it's converted into somebody that has a 2-way conversation?
An offered,
Ooh, that's close.
what did you call it on Tuesday?
She called it something.
Okay.
She called it an opportunity.
If they're a lead, right, if they're actually gonna buy or sell, then they're an opportunity. A lead would be someone you haven't had a 2-way conversation with. And then the next word she's looking for is someone that you have, right?
Yeah.
That is someone that you have had a two-way
So
conversation.
it's kind of like I had
Yeah,
with the guy today.
yes. So what I'm looking for is contact. Yeah. Yeah, and that will become important with your lead tracking later on when I show you what to do in Command. Okay, So the effort you give to converting leads must match the effort you give to generate them. So we've talked a whole bunch about generating leads. You need to spend an equal amount of time generating leads, following up with leads. That's actually a mistake I made very early on in my career, is I was constantly lead gen, and that's obtaining new information and new people to talk to without focusing on my own sphere. And that's why it took me a while to get started myself. Making sure that you are spreading that time equally and you're time blocking that time separate is essential. Okay, so, okay, so converting a lead to an appointment is a process that can happen quickly, although in some cases it can happen very, very slowly. So Shift tells us that consistently getting every possible appointment from leads you generate isn't complicated, but it does require preparation, practice, and purposeful action. This starts at the top of the model with the capture triangle up top there. You must capture correct information and enough information to be able to contact the person. Then you move to connecting. That's the little drum down at the bottom or in the middle, connecting. Building a connection, gaining information, and gaining trust. Then finally, you move to closing for an appointment. So without the appointment, conversion hasn't happened. So that's something to keep in mind. So when we say close is obtaining an appointment in this case. It could be misleading because there's a whole closing on a house. Yep, but that's obtaining an appointment in our context for today. Let's see here.
Closing of the point.
Yes. Yep. Okay. So when the conversion step does not happen in an appointment, for an appointment, we need to make sure that we're cultivating to get to that appointment. So instead of using the direct sales funnel that is really common in sales, in the sales industry, we have a couple of different models that are indirectly related to the funnel. That's the reason for the drum. We need people that aren't able to drop directly to the drum into an appointment and then into closing on a house. We need to make sure that we're still cultivating them, not losing.
Planting the seed,
Yes, yep, absolutely.
you go to gardening.
Yes, I like that a lot. Okay, so possible, probable, and profitable business. So after lead generation, lead conversion is the most business critical activity you must master. This is where the possible business that comes from lead generation becomes let's see, hold on. I'm saying it, but I'm like not sure that I'm saying it right. Yeah, can turn into probable business and ultimately profitable business. So possible, probable, profitable. So have you guys had a chance to look in Command or seen bits of Command yet?
Yeah, I'm still trying to
It's
figure it out. There's a lot to it.
It is, there is a lot. You just have to take a little bit at a
So
time.
that's the ones that pop up on, like the,
KW,
yeah,
Yeah.
personal thing here.
yep,
Like I've seen that on there.
yes. So, in your opportunities section of Command, there's
Yeah, right,
a
the
space at the bottom. Yep,
bar right here.
opportunities, yep, possible and probable income. Yep, so we want to get you from your possible income and your probable income and then a profitable business. Oh, yeah. Okay, does anybody have any ahas? See, I feel like we're reiterating a lot of what we've already talked about in the last couple classes, probably lead generation, right?
Sort of.
Sort of?
Yeah, I don't remember doing this part really.
Oh. That's good to know. Alrighty, so how to convert a lead to an appointment. That is the toughest part, I feel like sometimes. Sometimes it's really easy and people are ready to go and you're like, heck yeah, let's do this. And other times it's like, just do what I say.
So when you're talking about converting them to an appointment, is that just getting them to sit down with you and talk about either buying or selling a
Mhm.
house?
Yep.
And does that appointment end hopefully with a contract or with an agreement
Yes.
of a buyer's representation or a seller's representation?
Correct,
That's,
yep.
that's the goal, right?
That is the goal.
Okay.
That is 100% the goal. That's the hard thing about like this industry is like a lot of it is sales and it can feel frustrating to be so salesy. But the reality is we have to get through those steps to do what our actual job is. Like, I mean, there's two facets to the business. You've got lead generation and lead follow-up. And then you have the post-contract portion of the business that is far, and yeah.
The transaction.
Yes, taking care of your clients, doing what's best for your clients, being the expert and the person that guides them through the entire process. Like it's nerve-wracking for them. Like we're the rock, you know what I mean? So to me, that's the funnest part. I love negotiations. I love writing contracts. That's my favorite. So this part's always to me like the irksome part. So salesy, but the reality is in order to do the rest of our job, we do have to sell ourselves to people. That's
Gotta
the
get
reality.
to this part.
Yep. So in this section, we'll get into specific steps of the lead conversion model for converting leads to appointments. This model will help provide structure for success and lay the groundwork for future accomplishments. Alrighty, so we're gonna go over that capture funnel again. Capturing is defined as collecting the minimum amount of valid contact information of a potential buyer or seller. So, what do you guys think of as valid information?
Phone number, email address, normal address, name.
Yeah, bonus if you get their actual address. That to me is always like the icing on the cake. They're willing to give you that. That's amazing. If they're a seller, like you can send them anything you want to send them. You know what their house is good. You know, or you can figure out what their house is going to be worth. Like if they're willing to give you their address and they're a seller, you've got your
You
foot
just wanna get-
really far in the door. Yeah, yep. So address is always a big bonus. For buyers, it's a bonus too, because then it gives you another method to reach out to them. And then, I mean, also that may convert into a sell if they have to know. So at its simplest, capturing is collecting the minimum amount of valid contact information. So like we talked about, email and phone number. Let's see. So. Oh, okay. So what are some methods of capturing information?
Giving them a good reason why you need that information. Like on here, it's talking about like a few of these is like. If I found information and needed to get it to you, like, how do I reach you, right? Or, hey, maybe I could look into your market area, what's your address, something like that, so it's not just, so they know what you're gonna do with that
Yeah.
information.
Exactly. A lot of people are kind of gun shy about giving away their information because nobody wants to be spammed. I
Mhm.
mean, as a real estate agent, you end up getting spammed constantly, I'll be honest.
Well, I had a guy tell me this morning when I asked for his information. I know these guys at work, I work. with them
Yeah.
all the time, so they were like, well, are you gonna sell my information? I'm like, I promise we will not sell your information.
No, absolutely not. And that's one thing you can be assured of. When you put your client's information in command, it does not get sold anywhere else. It stays here in-house in your contacts. It doesn't go anywhere else. Yeah. You know, what I like to tell people is the only way your information will only be used for me to contact you, and anything you get with my name on it, I'm personally sending to you. That is my outreach to you because I want to connect with you. And then people get a little bit more like, oh, okay. You know, they know you're not selling their information. Yeah, absolutely. You can rest assured we're not selling their information. So how about open houses? Open houses are a way to get leads.
I don't know, I missed the open house class, so I don't really know how they work, so.
Open houses are fun. Responses on social media or online ads are another option.
I actually put myself on Facebook today
Yeah,
and put myself as being working for Keller Williams now.
that's awesome.
I got all these responses from people today, like, wait, what, you're a realtor now, like all this stuff, yeah, so that was kind of cool.
That's dope. That was like, there's more. I wish I had dived in deeper when I first started so that I had the opportunity to take advantage of that momentum when I very first became a realtor. Like I got so many responses when I posted, like I passed my test, like I'm official, I just need to get my license really, but like, you know what I mean? And I just, man, what kind of fire you can get off of that?
Yeah,
Heck yeah, I love that. So yeah, like blast it out. You need to buy or sell a house, I'm your person. There's other ways to do it. Did you guys do the social media? You guys did the social media class already.
I missed it.
You missed it?
And that was like,
It's good. So the one thing you have to remember is don't mistake social media for lead generation. Lead generation is conversations. Lead generation is not necessarily social media. Social media is marketing. So
Yeah.
just keep that in mind. People get spiral down that rabbit hole real quick. Yes, yep. Another ways is mailers or flyers. or sign calls. And I honestly, I feel like sign calls are the best thing ever when somebody calls on your listing and they're like, hey, I'm interested in this house. I don't have an agent. Love it. Love sign calls.
So I plan on getting metal, magnetic signs. from the car.
Oh, that's awesome. That's fun. And you gotta be careful. You gotta drive good.
Well,
Drive nice.
I've been a driver for 25 years commercially, so I'll be.
You'll be okay. That's good. Yeah, sometimes I want to put things on my car and then I'm so worried that I might accidentally cut somebody off and then they'll like leave me a bad review because I cut off my car. Not on purpose. I wouldn't do that on purpose, but that's just like one of my little, that's probably a limiting belief, and I could be making money off of my car right now.
Yeah, I got a question. Do you get to claim that on your tax?
Your car, if it is,
If someone, if you're going to, like show a house or something, that you should claim that mileage.
yeah, so what I use, you should be writing off your mileage, 100%. That's my biggest deduction. On average, it's been about a $6,000 deduction every year. That means $6,000 of your income is not taxed, is what that means. It doesn't mean you get
Right.
$6,000 off your taxes, but yeah. So, I use an app called Mile IQ, and I find it works better than a lot of the other ones. I just leave it on all the time. And then I have to go through and be like, oh yeah, somebody else drove, I need to cancel that one. Or like that was a personal trip, cancel it. But if you're in a 2-car household, you can designate one car and just keep track of the mileage from the beginning of the year to the end of the year, and that one car is your business car.
And just like,
And-
So if
do
you're
all
only
of the
if you're
mileage.
advertising a car,
There's some rules related to like tonnage of the car and the advertising, and so I don't really know those ones. You know, I mean, yeah, something to look into for sure. Just always ask a tax professional. Like, since I started doing real estate, I have a tax professional do my taxes.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not what I'm here for. That's not what I'm skilled at. My husband is skilled at numbers. He actually works for the IRS now. We still had somebody else prepare our taxes. Yeah, I'm like, I don't want to worry about upsetting the government.
there you go.
you don't want to play with that.
Definitely not. Okay, so when you're capturing, it's important to know that you're going to say what you're going to say before the conversation. So in your participant guide, there are some conversations that, like what you're talking about. If I were to need to contact you, what would that number be? If I found exactly what you're looking for, how would I contact you? Or if I found out that information you're wanting, how would I get it to you? Those are some really good scripts. So for this first step of capture, have a system in place, capture all leads in your database, and continue to cultivate the relationship using touch campaigns. Yep. So all leads may not be ready for an appointment, as it's your goal then to gain mind share and continue to stay in close emotional proximity so that when they're ready, they think about you. Like that's when people think, oh, I need to sell my house, your face should pop up in their brain. Your name should pop up in their mouth. You know what I mean? Just you want that as much mind share as possible. So let's see, there is an activity in your participant guide. Let's see. So how are you currently capturing leads? What information are you collecting? Yeah. So if you guys want to go ahead and work on filling that out. So how are you currently capturing leads? What information are you collecting? What are your current lead categories or tags? And what can you do to improve your current capture system? I'll give you guys a few seconds to work on that. I'm gonna jabber for a second. Yeah. So for me, how I'm currently capturing leads is on any of our listings, we run ads. So we get some leads from that. It just kind of depends on the house and the area, what people are inclined to click on. And then also doing open houses. And then when you do bold with Keller Williams, they challenge you to do a bold 100. That's make 100 new contacts or have 100 conversations in one day, which is so hard. So hard, but there's ways to hack it. So for instance, my family owns a couple of 7-Elevens. What I do is I take my stuff and myself and I go set up at a 7-Eleven and I buy a bunch of drinks and I get an opportunity to talk to people. I usually do 150 drink coupons in my hand. Then I know if I've passed out 150, I probably got people with some partners and some kids and stuff coming in, but I've given out probably close to 100. And then after I'm done with them, I still keep hanging out and chatting, but then I know that I'm capping to spend for drinks at like $250. But that's another thing is, I don't recommend spending money to capture leads until you're a well-established agent. Like that, you shouldn't spend red light, green light. So you've got money coming in, say X amount of my money is to go towards marketing, X amount of my money is to go towards lead generation. You know what I mean? But only if you've got money coming in. No, don't spend money to make money yet. Like, who's calling me? See, that's gonna be another call. Like, why are they calling me? Okay, so what information are you collecting? So when I do those gold 100s, like, what are they called? What I'll do is I actually set up a giveaway and I do a $50 7-Eleven gift card, and $50 can sound like a lot and can not sound like a lot. You know what I mean? If you're going to a nice restaurant, $50 is not a lot. But if you're talking about 7-Eleven, that's a full tank of gas and a pizza. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So that's
Or a hundred
pretty,
Slurpee.
oh yeah, yeah. It's like, people can
You
take
got
that
lots
to
of kids, you could be like, hey, here you go. kid,
Yeah.
Go take care of yourself in the summer.
Exactly. Oh, trust me, it's supposed to go so fast. But what I do is I put a little QR code up and I say, hey, and if you want to enter to win this $50 gift card, go ahead and fill out this form. And in that form, I collect their name, their phone number, their email address, and all of those three things are 100% required in order for their entry. So I at least have their name, their phone number, and their address. And if you use Google Forms, write down Google Forms right now. Everybody write down Google Forms. If you use Google Forms, you can check that it has to be a valid email address to complete the entry. So Google will automatically check the email address to make sure it's a valid email address. So at the very least, you're collecting a valid email address from them. So that's one of those things that I do. Sorry, now we're talking about lead generation now, and that's not what I'm supposed to be talking about. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked.
This is good information.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, and then I ask them, do you have a need for any of these 5 things? Like I have a class for buying a home, a class for selling a home. I need to talk to a lender. I need a, industry adjacent professional. I can't remember how I phrase it. Like I need help with my home in relation to this or this item. You know what I mean? Give them a couple of different opportunities and then at the end I put, not really interested in anything related to a home, just want to enter in. That gives them a little sense of security of like, you're not going to be super salesy to them because they're marketing, but they're not interested. You're still going to follow up. You're still going to see if they do end up having any kind of need. And then you have their information. And that type of person, I would do a light touch. Like, you know what I mean? I don't have a real estate related need. That's great. I'm here when you do. I'm going to send you over some emails. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that type of thing. And then if they do have a home seller, or I also have a thing where if you're interested in getting a comparative market analysis on your home, what's your address? Let me get their address too. I think I made the address required as well. Some of them didn't. This is a mistake I've learned. I asked for and should require the street, the city, and the zip code. I mean, you don't really need the zip code, but the city is important because if you tell them the address, they just put in their street address and you have to guess if it's in Clinton or in Compton. You know what I mean? Sometimes you can usually figure it out, and if you can't, you can find it on title. So there's ways to find out. Sorry, I'm a jerk, and I'm like, you're not gonna give me the information. I'm gonna find it. So I'm like mad. I'm like, you're not gonna beat me. Sorry, that's one of my there. Okay, and then oh my goodness, time is flying by. Okay, and then what are your current lead categories or tags? So what are
I never really got into it yet.
no?
Like
So-
organizational.
Yes. So for command, one of the things that we do on my team is we do a movie event, we do an Easter egg hunt event, we do we call it sipping in summer or sipping in spring, depending on what time of year we do it, where we invite everybody out to come and do a pop in. And we do the same thing at Mountain Donuts, where we invite our entire sphere to come and see us. We're only there for an hour. We buy you a drink or a donut. People come, it gives you a chance to socialize with your people and hang out, and it doesn't cost you a crap ton. So, we tag our clients for each of those different things in order to say, oh, these are the clients that I want to come to this event. If you want them to come to all events, then you can say an all events tag, you know? There's different ways to categorize your people. Like, another way is if you did an open house on a certain property, you can tag them, their contact information with that certain property. I used to do the same thing with my online leads. If I ran leads for a property I had listed, I would have command automatically generate the tag for that lead that tagged back to that house. So I knew that that's the type of house that they might potentially be interested in and could send them homes that would match their needs. I came to find that was too labor intensive for me to do some of those searches and stuff for people like that. But there's different ways in which you can use information that you gain from them in order to tag them for what their needs are. So like say you have
And that's all
prospective
the tags,
buyers.
but I
Yeah.
saw some of the tags, I just,
Or agents. So if they're an agent, I make sure I mark them with a tag that they're an agent in my contacts. Because if I don't, then sometimes they get sent stuff.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So using the vernacular of like leads versus contacts,
Mhm.
is this, like, at what point in this process did it become a contact?
Once you had a two-way conversation.
So could that like be before you capture their information, like if you're talking to them face to face? Or is it usually after and you
I knew
follow up?
somebody's gonna ask this question, and it's gonna really depend on who you talk to,
Mm.
what their philosophy is.
Okay.
For me, my role is if we've had a back and forth conversation in person that I've captured their information, they're still not a contact yet. They're
Right.
still a lead. So I would put them in as a lead, and then once we had the opportunity to have a two-way conversation on the phone, minimum phone, otherwise in-person appointment, they're still gonna be considered a lead in my mindset.
Mhm.
So it just kind of depends on.
That initial conversation is mostly you, like introductions and then capture. the
Yes,
information.
yep, that's lead generation. You capture their information, but you haven't had, like, maybe you did develop some great rapport and they're ready to go and want to go see houses and they're willing to accept your lender's information. You know what I mean? In that case, I would count them as a contact. But for recording purposes, for your conversion rates, you want to put it in as a lead and then uncheck them as a lead so they become a contact so that it still counts. So
So
I'll show you.
about in like step 2,
Mhm.
on connect, when you reach back out to them, that would, if you have a successful step 2, then they become a contact.
Yes, yep,
And then you're either cultivating that contact or you're closing.
exactly, exactly. That's why we have the models. Models, if you just, I'll show you the. Do you guys have any?
I kind of, but so like I told you about the guy at work.
Mhm.
And he came back and said, hey, I don't know, maybe I ought to do this. What would that be? What would you
I
classify
would
that as?
consider that a contact at that point, because he's expressed interest. Some people's method is if they've raised their hand and expressed interest, genuine interest, then they have gone from a lead to a contact. And you just need to cultivate at that point.
Cause yeah, cause he was, when he came back and said, I didn't know my house was worth all this, and I was like, he's like, I'm really thinking about selling it, and I was.
Now, you gotta be careful though, so if it was neighborhood information, like if he's got the smallest house and the ugliest house in the neighborhood, it may not be as much as his neighbors. So it kind of depends, but yeah, like,
What would be your next step to try to say,
I
or
would be
in, let's say you were, this is you and this happened to you. What would be your next step? Try to get him to show you his house, take you up to his house, or?
motivation. You more need to know his motivation, so that when you come and visit the house, you have the proper tools.
I kind of know his motivation because I've worked with him forever.
Oh,
And
okay.
so he lives with his dad and his house is kind of in shambles. They haven't lived in it for like a year.
Oh, geez.
So they're paying on this house that they haven't lived.
Wow, do you know how long they've owned it?
It's been a long time.
Long time, so they're not a good amount of equity.
I know, so I'm kind of thinking, you know,
So I would, so is he wants to cash out basically.
well,
That's what it sounds
that's
like.
sort of what he expressed today to me, and it was kind of like, whoa. And that was just, I gave him my card, then he all logged onto the app and I sent him the neighborhood thing. and-
That's amazing.
Yeah, and then he came back the next day and told me this, and I was like, this was today, and I was like, okay, where do I go from here? Well,
So you're licensed and ready to go, right?
yeah, I'm just muddling through this thing.
Okay, so I would find out his motivation and then work to schedule a time to come by and see the house. So for instance, if his motivation is cash, come, and then do you happen to know what his personality type is?
Oh, I know him. I've worked with him
Yeah.
for 3 years now, but
So is he like more numbers driven, or is he kind of a people person?
he's kind of a people person, but I would think that it's more a numbers thing with this house.
Okay.
Because they've been sitting on this house, they haven't moved back into it. So something happened with the bathroom. He hasn't quite told me exactly.
You need all the details.
So I've been trying to get him to let me go to his house and help him with it, so maybe this would be my opportunity to kind of get him to like maybe move forward a little bit on it, because now that he's seen some possible
Yeah.
numbers, he's thinking,
Yes.
so.
Sean, our broker, Sean Jenke, you guys had a chance to meet Sean?
So I think he's been.
Yeah.
teaching the class.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, last week,
Yeah.
or earlier this week.
Last week, yeah.
The last couple weeks.
Well,
Okay.
Or no, he just taught Tuesday. 'cause
No, he was in the one before that
Oh,
too,
was he?
Oh.
I don't know.
Cool.
on the
You
I
guys-
Thursday.
only,
Yeah.
I only met him on Tuesday, but he was a nice guy.
He's amazing.
This is my third class.
Mhm.
We're on 11. I've been any of them. I've been through.
Well, I barely got
Big night
license,
twice,
I
but-
barely got my license last Friday. so
Oh.
I still haven't even finished orientation.
Yeah.
I have to come in on next Tuesday and finish it
And do
with
orientation.
Lauren,
Okay, that's okay.
but I'm muddling through all this.
Yes, we'll there, like, let's capture it, let's get a deal right under your belt straight out of the gate.
That'd be awesome.
Heck, yeah. So Sean, he suggests doing a quick 15-minute stop by to see the house. Hey, let me pop by, it'll only be 15 minutes, you just show me the house so I can see what it looks like, and then I can take that information that you give me, and I'll come back and I'll give you a true market value.
That's what I was kind of thinking.
Yeah.
That's what my brain was saying when I talked with that.
Especially if it's been vacant, you need to kind of assess the conditions and the they need. Like, you need to know if they want to do work on it or if they like to leave it kind of how it is. So there's just a lot of different ways you could go with it. I would suggest finding out his motivation first though, because then if you can keep hitting on that motivation, he's far more likely to convert. Yeah.
Okay.
Find the motivation.
Good information.
Heck yeah.
Thank you.
You bet. Okay, so let's see, connection best practice. Holy mackerel, we're not moving along as quickly as I thought. Okay. I'm like,
So we're
I wanna
getting
show
good
you-
information.
well, and I just want to show you command because that command's amazing. Okay, so for the second step is connect. Connecting is about laying the foundation for a working relationship. What's important during this step is to listen. So that goes back to finding his motivations. You gotta listen, ask good questions, offer solutions, and then keep the focus of the conversation on them. Because that's the reality, like, we're nothing without our clients. Our motivations, they don't really matter. Like, yeah, you should use your motivation to fire you up, get you to lead generate, but when it comes down to it, your client's motivation is what matters, and what their needs are is what matters most. Okay. I totally forgot, lost where I was.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
I just had to ask that question to somebody that knows.
No, it's a good question. I'm so excited for you. Okay, so the goal of communication, in addition to building a relationship, is to determine their urgency, give enough information to know how to prioritize their lead, and then to help you know what touch campaign you can use as a follow-up plan. So does that
Basically
make
what we
sense?
just.
Yep, exactly. So as you communicate and connect, keep these best practices in mind. You'll want to embed your value proposition in the conversation. And that will position you as a local, and you want to make sure you're positioning yourself as a local expert when you are providing that value proposition. You will want to also build and have confidence through knowing that what you are going to say, role play, practice conversations, and know the market market data. So do you guys know where to find role playing opportunities?
Wife or
Yeah.
like.
Yep. Friends, family. In fact, when you're in school, I mean, just say, hey, I'm gonna be a real estate agent soon. Will you sit down and practice with me? Friends, family. Give them an opportunity to beat you up, because if the nicest people you know, the people around you, hopefully they're nice people, beat you up, it gives you that tougher skin to go out there into the world. Because you will get a little bit beat up. People ask you hard questions and you're like, oh no, I don't know what to say. And has anybody told you what the best thing to say is when you don't know what to say?
I'll figure it out.
Yep.
I'll come back to you.
But I'll get that.
Yep, I'll get back to you. Let
I
me
don't
figure
have
that
the
out.
answer, but I can find it for you. That's the one.
Yep. Exactly, exactly. Let them know that, because never lie. Never, never lie. As soon as you lie, you lose somebody's confidence and trust. Never lie, never try to pretend you know more than you know. You are a market expert when you come out of the gate though. You've got all of Keller Williams behind you. You have all of your real estate schooling done. You're fresh, ready to learn. You've learned everything, all the ways not to get sued. And you know what I mean?
Sort of,
You know what?
sort of outlining it a little bit, but I do it.
As long as you follow the rules, it's easy. Don't do any code of ethics violations, which is pretty self-explanatory, honestly.
Right.
If you wouldn't like it done to you, don't do it to somebody else. And disclose. Don't violate ethics, disclose. Them's the rules.
I've
sorry.
been kind of doing that with everybody at work, that they're sort of my role playing, I've been kind of like grabbing, hey, come here, I just got my license, and I start talking to them about stuff.
That's amazing.
I've been using it as kind of like a little kind of a game, you know, like maybe I'll just try and see what these guys say, because they all know me anyway, I've been there
Yeah.
forever, so.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So are you planning on becoming a realtor full time?
That's the goal, I would like to get out of what I'm doing now, but I don't know, I like what I do too, because I'm an educator.
Oh, okay.
So I educate students on how to get their CDLs. I take them from no CDL all the way through the test, all the way to
That's
the
gonna
end.
be such
Yeah, and we went on a road trip today
a-
we went all the way up 89 or 84, all the way over.
Oh, God,
behind-
behind the thing. come
Yeah,
back
and all the
down.
way back down to Heber and then over through, Provo Canyon. This is a student that doesn't have a CDL yet, but I've got him to where he's driving good now and stuff,
That's good.
but that's why I say,
Yeah,
when I don't know the answer, I tell them.
yeah,
Look, I don't know the answer, I don't know everything, but I will find it for you.
exactly. And the reality is you can't find. If you don't know, ask in the KW Facebook page. We've got tons of information, tons of people want to help and share with you the knowledge that they have.
Yeah, it just became Allison's friend today.
I know, I just read it. to you. You know,
Awesome.
you know, what triggers me to do that is I fill in your contact information in my command.
Yeah,
So I link your Facebook.
well, I just did my Facebook today.
Oh, did?
Yeah, I moved it over saying that I was.
Oh,
working
you worked.
Like the life thing, right, life
Yep.
changing thing, I switched it and I put the Keller Williams like logo on there.
That's awesome. Now I have a question. Where'd you get the logo from?
No, I had it saved in my phone.
From, they give it to you when you sign in?
So I think I think I pulled it off the,
Make sure you've got all the right.
the one I have is, I mean, you saw it, did it,
Yep.
right?
Yep, that was right.
Okay.
Good. I'm like, I look out for that. Like, if you need the brand guide, guess who has it? Probably downloaded.
Oh, dude.
They-
Again. Oh, you do?
I know.
I literally download it every time I need to check it out. It's on here somewhere, but I never like name the file and save it somewhere special.
Oh, yeah.
I download it and then you know how Adobe automatically pulls it up?
Yes,
That's me.
I love it.
I
That's
really
me.
don't
in
know.
a nutshell.
Hey, Sean's still here. You're not gonna know him do any touch, but.
Okay.
And Jenny should be coming. Hey.
Well, I'll
I'm
just
gonna
keep
run home.
trucking.
Come on, little more. My little safety.
Hope it feels better. Hey, we'll see you guys. Yeah. Okay, and then our last one, know the outcome you want from a conversation before starting. So use questions to lead the conversation. Yeah, it's always about that. So if we use your example there, what was gonna be your next question for him?
What is, like you said, what is motivation? Because I've talked to him about his house before,
Yeah.
like way before I became a realtor and all this. He was telling me how he can't live in his house because something happened with the bathroom, but he hasn't quite told me exactly. Cause though it's kind of wishy-washy, he said there was a leak or something, and anyway, long story short, they haven't been able to live in their home for all this time, so I kept offering to help him, hey, you want me to come over and help you? We can fix your bathroom up, get you guys back to living in your home, so. I guess I don't know what my next question would have been, would be, like, kind of when he said he was looking at the numbers and went, kind of. Maybe I should really, so then I kind of led into, well, let me know,
Yeah,
I'll help you with it if you want to sell it, I mean. Or if we need to fix it up or whatever, I kind of just threw it out there again that I would help you.
that's sweet of you. Yeah, I would sit down and kind of write out the questions of things that you would need to know. So for instance, you need to know what the situation is the bathroom is and what he's planning on doing with it. And then, where are they planning to go after that? You can just stay with his dad and for or,
I mean, I think that
kind of the plan.
That's sick. And his dad's just been in and out of the hospital and he's literally been staying with him for about a little over a year now, so.
Dang,
So I kind of feel like maybe this house is just a weight
yeah,
that's kind of like, I gotta
Heck
get this
yeah.
weight off my shoulders or maybe some dead weight that he needs to just get rid of, you know?
you'll need to know what his remaining balance is on his loan.
Right.
To give you an idea to do a CMA, but you'll get most of that information, to go and stop by and take the house. So I would start with, hey, I wanna make sure that I give you the best value for your house. Can I stop by and check it out? Just quick 15 minutes, take a look around and see what the situation is. Make it positive, like,
Yeah, I
you know.
can do that.
It's positive. Like, I'd just get your foot in the door that way, because if he already came to you and was like, wow, you're like, yeah, let's.
Yeah,
see
and I
what
didn't-
And.
He's the one that came to me this morning.
Yeah.
I didn't really see it. Just like, yeah, I looked at your thing and then got that email you sent me that shows the market value and I was like, oh yeah, I knew what I said. 'Cause I purposely sent everybody that neighborhood thing,
Yeah,
because that's the one that's telling everybody what you're worth, you know, that number stock people.
It's true, it's so true. I so much, I'm excited for
And
you.
I just been dawdling in it, like, okay, I'm gonna try this, I'm gonna send this.
And that's. Once you get access, MLS, access and to command, like, don't waste a bunch of time not doing lead gen, but. Make sure you get to know your tools, because tools will save your butt every time. Have you guys seen the triangles yet, the three pieces of real estate? You got leads, leverage, and listings. Yeah, so listings is the base, leads and leverage are the sides, keep your triangle together. And leverage, part of your leverage, when you can't afford an assistant, is your technology, so get to know your tech. Okay, so 6 connection questions. So here are some excellent questions that you can think of when you are talking to somebody. So who are they? We need their contact information. And that can go a little bit further into maybe what are their cultural needs? What is their situation with their family? What other things like that may affect what they're looking for in a home or what they're looking for in a situation in buying or selling. What do they want or need to do? So a lot of people really panicked about the industry over the last couple of years because interest rates did make it a lot harder to buy a house and to sell a house. The reality is that people still need to buy and sell houses. People still need housing no matter what. So as long as you are constantly following up with your clients and your contacts, then you shouldn't have a problem. But yeah, make sure you understand what they need to do. Where do they want or need to do it? Why do they want or need to do it? When do they want or need to do it, and how? So who, what, where, why, when, and how do they plan to do it? So those are what you want to keep in mind when you are connecting with someone in making that effort towards gathering enough information for lead conversion. And those questions will also help whoever you're speaking with open up. It looks like in your participant guide, you have some examples of what those 6 connection questions might look like in your conversations. That's cool. Is there a whole bunch of them in there?
That one's
Yeah.
really long.
Holy mackerel. I love that. I struggle with the who, what, where, why, when, and how. I get so excited to get into meat and potatoes and everything that I get like, I'm like, okay, let's talk strategy. Let's talk that. And then I'm like, I forget, I have to remember that. So I do. I love real estate so much. I get all excited. Do you guys know what Ford conversation is?
Family, occupation, recreation, dreams.
Yes. So yeah, have you ever heard that acronym
No.
before? No?
No.
Oh, okay.
Hold it right off
So-
the zip, like,
yeah.
wow.
Heck yeah. The other one I remember is.
What was that
FORD. 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 Yep. Family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. So if you follow that line of questioning when you're having a conversation with somebody, often like that'll give you all you need to talk about. Oh yeah, how's the family going? How are the kids doing? I saw on Facebook that so-and-so started soccer. Does she love that? You know what I mean? Family, opportunity to talk to them about their family. Occupation. Oh, so I saw you change jobs a couple months ago. That's awesome. Or where are you working now? Oh, that's great. I thought it started at 6:30. Your section starts at 6:30. You're good. You're good. You got 15 whole minutes. Don't even stress.
I am stressed because I was sick all day,
Oh, no.
migraine, so. Okay.
That's,
Don't mind me, I just pressure washed a client's house too, that's what you do.
you do whatever you need
Whatever
to
it
do.
takes.
I've changed the toilet out. My clients make it happen, so, yeah, we'll make it happen. Recreation, so an example of a recreation question is, oh, I saw you a side by side, do you guys just love that? Or I saw you sold your side by side, are you gonna get another one? You know, or you like skydiving, 'cause I love skydiving, I don't love skydiving, but you know what I
I
mean?
saw you went on vacation on
Yeah.
Facebook or went to Seattle or.
100%. Oh, did you go and visit family or was it just a fun trip? You know, stuff like that. Dreams. So dreams is always a tough one. I feel like people don't often think about their dreams. So I feel like that's kind of one that you have to find a little nugget in the conversation to get to dreams. Like, it's kind of weird to be like, what are your dreams for the future? You know what I mean? But like, if somebody says, oh, side by side, yada, yada, yada. Oh, yeah, we use that to repair this or that, the money for that to repair this or that, but I'd love to get another one. Oh, great. Have you thought of leveraging the equity in your house? You know what I mean? There's an opportunity there. There's always an opportunity there.
You can say, instead of dream, I say, what's your ultimate goal? If you could do anything, what's your ultimate goal? It's kind of soften and make it less weird.
One of my favorite exercises, I talk about this all the time, is, do you guys remember when, was it Mega Millions up to like $1 billion? Have you ever sat down and thought about, if I won the lottery, what your actual steps would be and what you would do with that money? Like, well, first you hire security, of course, but after that, what would you do with all that money? You know what I mean? And that's actually a really interesting exercise to do for yourself, you know, for other people. Like, start that conversation, because a lot of times that involves a nice house for people. So if you get them dreaming and thinking about that, that can help motivate them forward. That was a total segue. Sorry, just came out. Okay, yep. So in your participant guide, you got those questions. Awesome. Okay, so now we're to the cultivate portion. Here we go. So your goal in using the lead conversion model is to move immediately from capture to connect and to close. However, you'll find a small percentage of leads that won't be ready to convert to an appointment yet. So, I mean, it could be a situation where, say, maybe their credit is in really rough shape and they need to work on it. That's a perfect opportunity to cultivate with them. If you have a great lender or a great resource for credit repair, that's like, if you can provide that value to them, they're gonna be so much more willing to come back to you. Like, hey, I got you. I'm willing to be patient. I'm ready to help you. I wouldn't say I'm ready to be patient, but that should be your mindset. I'm patient. I'm here to help you obtain a home, and maybe that is credit repair, you know, things like that. Or say they have a lease that's still 8 months out, you know. So you'll want to make sure that you're ready to convert that to an appointment when they are ready. So you want to keep mind share. So keep mind share, you will use a touch campaign through command to stay in communication and cultivate that relationship. In Ignite, you've learned a lot about touch campaigns. So 19 to connect, 1 to cement, and 36 to convert. That sound familiar? You will leverage these to stay in close contact until you can get an appointment. As you start to implement your touch campaigns, you can always pursue creating your own touch campaigns to fit your business needs. And I'm a nut job. I always recreate the family wheel. I'm learning slowly over these many years to not create the wheel and just follow systems and processes and procedures and what it already says, just throw my name in there and rip off and duplicate R&D. Yeah, so we already have all the tools in there. Use them. They're there for a reason, because they work. Let's see. Yep, it's recommended that you start with the 3 that have been introduced first until you have a solid understanding of how the touch campaigns work. So yep, 19 to connect, 1 cement, and 1 to cement, and 36 to convert. Okay, so cultivation. Oh, let's see. That was not part of this. Okay, you can't know or predict when they will come to a decision, but if you're reconnecting with them in a systematic way, you'll have a great chance of being there when they do. That's when you'll be able to close for an appointment. The shift book is super handy. I love the shift book.
So that, can I say too, so to reconnect with them on a regular basis? The nice thing is that we have events as an office. And so they just happen to be quarterly.
Yep.
So that takes a lot of that heavy lifting, and this year on August 8th, right? It's gonna be a carnival.
Carnival.
I'm like, where did the flyer go? Flyer went away.
You have
Actually,
flights or
already-
not? Yeah, you guys
So-
have flights or not? You just.
He said that,
Yeah.
Sean,
John?
Sean said that everyone that was at the last meeting and volunteered, we didn't have to pay the $100.
Oh, nice.
What?
So the $100 fee that you have to pay to be in the carnival or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sean
I
said
was
if we
not paying attention.
if we volunteered, we didn't have to. pay
Was it the last Ignite meeting?
It was.
Yeah, it was
there.
on Tuesday.
Oh,
It was on
Nice.
Tuesday.
Probably because they
So
don't have any
sweet.
money. They're not real estate agents yet. You're too young.
Yeah,
Young real
'cause we
estate
haven't,
agents.
we don't know anybody.
No, you're good. I know, it is kind of, it is kind of a bummer to pay $100 not having anybody to bring, but it's perfect opportunity to like introduce yourself to people too. Like. When you first become an agent, like, hey, look, I'm hosting this client appreciation event. I would call it a client appreciation event. What would you call it, Penny? If you're a new agent?
Open house sort of.
no, I call it a summer party.
A summer party?
I call it,
Okay.
a summer party. What did the one I did, so you know how Instagram suggests reels?
Mhm.
Mine was memory of event that I had last year. So I just posted again, then I put words over and I plastered it, I covered it. And I says, you all know that I really love to celebrate my friends and my clients who support me. And the way that I like to do that is we are literally going to celebrate, throw down. I can't wait to announce the next one. And so I did something like that. So whether you guys have someone go or not, everybody there, all of the clients, they don't know you don't have someone there. And so you just take pictures, you start using it, I don't know if you guys are social media people, but you can use it for content regardless if you have someone there or not. And social media speaks volumes, whether they talk to you on a regular basis or not. They think you're busy. That's all
Heck yeah.
that needs to happen.
You do open houses, go visit open houses and chat with agents at open houses. That's actually my favorite thing to get your feet wet and get to know people in the industry is go to open houses and meet people at open houses. But that's my ultimate favorite. And then I learned how not to do an open house. Some open houses I was crappy, and I was like, I'm never doing that.
You're like, you really suck.
Yeah, I was like, I don't even need to be licensed agent to know how bad you suck.
Yeah.
That sounds so mean.
No, but it's.
I just remember this one time, these agents, this is gonna sound mean, they were probably from Salt Lake because they were all like, they looked like they come straight out of Selling Sunset. And they were in this crappy house and it smelled like cat pee. And this was with the height of the market when it was crazy. And there's all these people crawling over this nasty house. And I'm just like, here, just like, this is how I'm spending my Saturdays. I'm walking through houses as a new real estate agent. And they're just like, sign in. Okay. No thanks. I'm not gonna give you my info.
So what is a better spin they could have taken?
They 100% could have been like, hi, I'm just doing it. That's probably one of my go-tos, kind of annoying, but 7-Eleven has trained me. You welcome everybody. Everybody gets a greeting.
Make eye contact.
Huh?
Make eye contact.
Absolutely, yeah, and make eye contact. I try to stay out of their way. I'm kind of a nervous mover when I'm doing an open house. I'm working on that. But like, if I've got a lot of people, I just say, hey, if you wouldn't mind, sign in when you get a chance. There's a sign-in sheet on the table and let me know what you think. You know, people love to share their opinion. So,
They do, and you know, if it does need work, you're like, this is just equity, you know, it's
Yeah.
just a golden opportunity if you're willing to put some sweat into it.
well, and it doesn't hurt to acknowledge if they're like, if there's a crappy part and they want to talk about it, be like, oh, yeah, but here's some options. Like, before you get people confronting you, have some options
Yeah.
in your head.
Be careful.
Yeah. Yes.
Be careful.
Yeah.
Everybody's level of ugly is different.
Yes, I would not just come out the gate with it. Pretend like the house is amazing until somebody says something negative. That's definitely my go-to. I got sidetracked again. Sorry. No, you're good. I'm like trying to think where we're doing, oh yeah. I don't even know how we got there. I'm confused now.
I don't remember. It was good though.
Hey, this is great. I I enjoyed all the information you've been sharing.
Good, I'm over there. Okay, so when asking for the appointment, which format do you think is the most effective? So what's the most effective form of communication when you're talking to somebody?
Depends on what they want.
I would say that's a pretty good answer. It's not the answer I'm looking for, but I agree with you.
I think it's just in person and then phone call
Yeah.
and then text and then email.
Email definitely fast.
Exactly, you guys are exactly right. In person is always best. So the least effective options are the writing options, text and email. Where did it go? Okay, I just want to make sure I'm saying what they want me to say. Yeah, since you're not communicating in real time and you can't immediately respond to any issues or questions they might have, it gives them the opportunity to drop off, honestly, like people can ignore you. And then it's weird to be texting again, you know what I mean? So or sending an email again when you haven't had a response, so getting them on the phone is minimum your best chance, and then in person is infinitely better. Okay, then our next one, oh, it's the same one, I think, yep. Okay. Okay, so first of all, you're not just looking for a yes response to asking for the appointment. As soon as you get the yes, you should immediately schedule the appointment at everyone's earliest convenience. This means the date, time, and location, etc. One thing to keep in mind is the location. We'll talk about this more in depth in the transaction section when we cover buyer and seller consultations in depth. But one thing to always keep in mind is safety.
I have a question. So connect, right? You're reaching out, connecting with the people that you've captured. I would assume most of the time you're gonna be calling them, right?
Yes.
So you're just calling them, trying to see, asking those questions, seeing if they're interested, seeing if you can close. And then do
Yes.
you set up like an in-person appointment to then in the in-person appointment set up an actual like appointment?
No.
Or you just set up the appointment?
No,
right
your
there?
goal is to set up the appointment when they have a business, a real estate business related. So that if they're ready to buy or ready to sell, or if they're thinking about buying or thinking about selling. Like if they're thinking about it, there's opportunity to get them moving forward. Everybody does it a little bit differently. When it comes to buyers, I like to try and get them pre-approved before we have a meeting. And then I personally prefer to do online meetings, video calls, because then they don't have to run out anywhere. Like it's far more convenient for most people. I just have my office set up where it looks nice behind me and I have a camera and a microphone that work really well. And I have a presentation. I do it through Google Meet, which makes it really easy to present. And although I'm kind of thinking about getting rid of that because it's just too much going on. It means I'm focusing on presentation people. So I'm kind of evolving a little bit. But I have a checklist of information I need to make sure I get from them and information I need to convey to them. And then I send them, sorry, I don't know where I'm going down this road. What was your question again? I'm totally getting sidetracked.
The purpose of the close,
Oh, yes.
so.
Mhm.
Yeah,
But when to do an appointment.
I
is
think
what-
my biggest question was, because we're talking about the most effective way to ask for the closing appointment is in person. But I feel like you're connecting most often over the phone.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, so.
So
yeah,
how
so-
often are you actually gonna be in person?
So I guess a better way to think of it is close is when you have that signed contract.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yep.
Connect, I would think would be setting, and then
Yeah.
cultivate, hey, I'm checking in on them. Now I'm gonna set the appointment
Uh-huh.
and then you're gonna go.
And then we go, once you've got the appointment set and you have an agreement signed, then.
So
it
if
is
they
closed.
saying though that the appointment, like close stands for the appointment on this.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so like,
That
it's-
is with the phone call.
yeah, so yeah, there's many different ways to. think about
Because a
all
lot of
this.
people like
But
text
yeah.
message. There's a lot of people that won't even
Yeah.
respond to a phone call.
Oh, I
Like you
hate
text
phone
them.
call. You can text me, I'll text you all day.
I hate text messaging. I love phone calls. Call me and I'll talk to you.
The following person.
Yep, my problem is if I get on the phone with you, I'm gonna talk for like an hour and then it's like the time is gone. So that's my personal problem.
Email is
I have
the
friends like
worst.
that.
That's like
Oh,
the
yeah.
most impersonal thing you can do.
I ignore, how many
Nobody looks
emails
at
do you
it.
ignore?
We get 100 a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have over 35,000 in my Yahoo account that
So-
they're so backed up, I don't even wanna look at them.
So when you're reaching out to try to connect with your leads, do you usually call them and then send them a text if they don't answer, just in case they're not the phone call kind of people?
I do.
Yes.
Yes. I leave a voicemail and then I direct them to the text message. I'm gonna send a voicemail. Hey, this is Jesse. I'm gonna shoot you a text message. Feel free to give me a text me.
It also depends on if you know them or not. That
That's
makes a
true.
big difference.
Yeah, yeah.
You're always gonna get better returns, people like that.
Do you still try to call them if you haven't, if you don't know them, like if you're trying to
Absolutely.
Yeah.
just start with the text?
No,
Well, think of it this way, if they don't know you and they don't like you, who cares?
Right.
Right?
Who's gonna
They're
hang
not
up on
gonna
you?
remember you. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's a good way, but if you got them as lead, they need help.
they've raised their hand and
They've
stuff.
raised their hand.
They've voluntarily given their information. Like in that Google form that I do when I do the bold 100s, it says right out the gate. By entering your information in this form, you agree that Jessica Tillman may contact you about this giveaway as well as real estate related, well as any of your real estate related. needs. So they know my intent is gonna be to reach out to them. And they've given me permission. to talk. So if they say anything mean, I'd be like, oh, I'm so sorry. I thought that I disclosed that. That's why part of the reason why I would be calling you.
Mhm.
You have a great day. If you have real estate related needs, I'd like to. But then again, it does no good to like try and keep somebody on the phone with me. Want to be on. Like, you may just piss them off. It's very rare. As somebody that has done cold calling for many years, there's a point at which it's like people, if they're not interested, they're not interested. Your likelihood of you converting is slim. Don't waste your time is what I mean if they are. Gonna cost. And also, you don't even work with hostile people anyways. So do you really want them as a client? Sorry, just
No,
little
it's
side rant there.
absolutely true.
Like,
You don't have to.
yep, that's the nice thing about this job is like, sure, everybody needs money and everybody wants a deal, but you really get to decide who you work for. With, but it's for, you're working for them. Yeah, okay. So first of all, you're not just looking for a yes as a response to asking for the appointment. As soon as you get the yes, oh yeah, okay, so date, time, location, etc. Yep. One thing, oh yeah, I already read all that, sorry. We went through that. Okay, next is a very long quote from what we usually get in quotes. Does somebody want to read it?
Yeah, I can read it. In the end, if they can meet and have a good enough reason to meet, they will meet. And if they don't, they won't. And that's okay. You really don't care what their answer ultimately is because you're not getting people to do anything they don't want to do. You're just going to ask and respond until they agree that meeting with you makes sense or it doesn't. Either way, you both win.
It's basically what we were just talking about.
Yeah.
And the reality is if your value proposition and you as a person kind of appeals to them, they will eventually say yes when they are ready. You can have any comments you think to share. We lost, oh my gosh, I can't remember her name. She's not there anymore.
Did they give me the full packet too?
Bradley should have.
No, I haven't, but it's 36 pages.
That's shorter than mine, mine's 44.
Good lord.
It goes by each
So, okay,
page of the, yeah. Yeah. I just made sure we didn't. Yes, we're the only ones on, that's sad. We lost our two other participants. Okay. Oh, okay. So, this statement about closing the appointment comes from Shift, which is a Gary Keller book. Oh, wait, there it is. Shift, it also reminds me of one of the Y4C2Ts. There's no Y4C2Ts is. There was a flyer out here at one point that had it on it. I can't remember them all. But I always, so, win-win or no deal. Can't remember the I is. 4 C's is, we should remember this. We should know. Do you guys have them in the front of your packets? I'll bet you have them in the front of the packet somewhere. No?
I do not know.
Dang it.
hang on, I'm gonna be really smart, and look it up.
I love it. They're my, that's like,
Minute.
they won't be on the plan.
Now, it's called Y2, say it again.
WI4C2TES.
What?
WI 4 C 2 T E S.
Okay. Win-win or no deal. Okay, second one is integrity, do the right thing.
The right thing.
Third one is customers, always come first. Commitment in all things. Communication, seek first to understand. Creativity, ideas before results. Teamwork, together everyone achieves more. Trust, start with honesty. Equity, yeah, it is equity. Opportunities for all. Success, results through people.
It tells me that it reminds me of one of the Y4C2T. The ES get me every time. And it doesn't tell me which one I'm supposed to be it's supposed to make me think of. I'm like, I always want win-win or no deal is my favorite. So I'll just bring that up. Does that remind any of you guys of a particular one?
First time I heard.
Yeah, I think it's reminiscent of the win-win or no deal because you're not trying to get them to do something that
They
would
don't
be a
want to
lose
do,
for
yeah,
them.
yeah,
You're not gonna do something that's a lose for you. If they don't want to, then it's a win for them and it's a win for you, because you don't have to do business with someone.
exactly, exactly,
Customers always first too.
yeah,
You're kind of putting them first, if they don't wanna talk to you or they don't
would
There's
be-
meet with you, then that, you're putting them first, like, it's their needs we're after, not ours.
yeah,
Communication, seek first to understand.
yes, yeah, listen. Okay, like, I feel like we're almost done. Okay, improve your conversion rate. Okay. Do you guys know what conversion rate is?
The rate at which you get every lead to an appointment.
Yes.
I cheated, I read it.
Good job.
That's
You guys-
good,
Got all the answers, though, I'm gonna slide on it.
Too.
right?
Oh, hey, look, there's your seed right there.
Oh,
Oh, see, I knew they were gonna have to be in there somewhere. I love it. Y2T4CE, Y4C2Ts. Gosh, as soon as I am not looking at it, I can't say it. Okay, so the ultimate goal is to increase your skills so you convert at the highest percentage possible. The higher the percentage, the more leads you have converted to appointments. So if you're converting at a low percentage, this should tell you that you have a lead conversion challenge. The challenge is not the number of leads generated, but your ability to get them to an appointment. So there isn't any hard fast rule about lead conversion rates, and I think people will make some people feel bad for their lead conversion rates. We always want it to be as high as possible, of course, but I wouldn't get hung up on any particular lead conversion rate. Like you always want it to be as high as possible for you. So I just want to put that out there because the example it gives me is really high. It says, example, you may ask 10 leads for an appointment and succeed in 8 appointments. That's an 80% conversion rate. Some people that are very established agents that are working with people within their sphere that are very used to them doing the outreach may receive those 8 appointments. That's not very common. So I just want to put that out there.
What is,
It's different for everyone. Because it'll vary greatly based on where you got the leads from. So say you're somebody that does a lot of online leads. Online leads have a really hard conversion rate. But if you're somebody that works exclusively off of your sphere of influence leads have a high conversion rate. So you have people that say have moved here from a different area. They don't have a large sphere here. So they have to work more online leads. So it's one of those things where I'm like,
it
It is
depends on where your
totally
walk of
depends
life
on,
is.
yep, your situation, where your leads are coming from. And so the goal is to always just continue to increase your ability to convert those.
so Trevor Scheffler, he's lived here forever and he does not call his SLA. He won't. He just makes calls like a robot. He tells me he can hammer through 500 and he will get 50 people on the phone. And in that 50, he'll probably get 5 appointments.
And he does good business.
He's
That tells you
really
how
good.
many people you have to go through with an unseasoned lead.
Yes.
Whereas if you're working on your sphere, you may have a much higher conversion rate.
Yeah.
5 appointments from 500
What do you mean your spirit?
leads.
But if you
Sphere
think
and
about how
focus.
much money is that?
So everybody that
A lot.
you.
That's a
personally
lot of
have
money,
contact with.
Oh.
right?
How
Well, like
does
the
it
ones
take-
I've been cultivating also, without,
Exactly.
lack of better
Yeah.
word, but.
No,
So
that's
a lot of
exactly.
So
appointments per
for
day.
That's
him,
perfect.
he's like,
Okay.
they
So
don't know me from.
I just been
Adam,
reaching
so I
out to
really don't
everybody,
care
like,
if they
that I
go.
know.
I just
People
want to
that
get the
have
ones
phones,
that
this is
pause
that, kind of like
and we have a
family,
conversation.
that all the guys that work, you know, it's just- I feel like I'm that.
So if he's.
If you.
I mean,
But I
Perfect.
generally stuff,
I'm
so,
getting 5
That's
appointments,
amazing.
5 calls,
Really,
then
you
his
have to
conversion
just, you gotta get yourself back up, then, so.
10%
you can't be afraid. You gotta go out. Don't be afraid to talk.
pretty good.
And he's.
Fear is the
probably
mind
one of the
killer, a
biggest
little death.
producers.
I used to.
Very
work,
much
but
invest
in-
in German.
Mm.
That's why
Practice
he
makes
gets
perfect,
calls,
like
that's
anything.
why he's not looking
That's where
for
role play
someone else
comes
who's
in.
looking
Role play is so important.
Mm.
Like, we just had a team meeting and I got up there and I was
I was
so.
the worst the other day. I'm so sorry.
That, they just like sprung a bunch of different variables on you all of a sudden.
No, I was like, you know what happened is I took my Adderall and I had an energy.
You're like extra Adderall.
drink. I was like, oh, the filter's gone. Ah. It was really bad. Okay.
It was amazing. Like, just seeing everybody's different way that they handle questions, but I felt so good about my answer, and then Dalton just clubbed me to death.
No, they
with
were
his
both
answer.
really good.
Oh, I just like spew out technical stuff, and Dalton's like asking questions and doing the whole getting them to say yes, and I was like, damn, Dalton. But you know what the difference is Dalton role plays. Dalton
Yes.
role plays every single day, and you can like ask if you want. You guys met Dalton yet?
Bald guy with the beard, wears a hat and hey dudes. I love that guy.
Yes.
He's great at questions.
He's amazing.
Toss
So-
her
Maybe
good class.
a year or two. How long has he been an agent? Not very long.
He told us
Um,
3.
Yeah, he was just a little bit after me, so yeah.
Yeah, but when he stepped in, he was like, just tell me what to do. And he did whatever he was told.
Yeah, and he's doing amazing.
Yep.
I love Dalton. He's my buddy. He did tell me when we went to Vegas and he didn't let me just wander off. He was like, hey,
Go this way.
yeah.
Sounds
he's-
like
he's-
one of those walkers.
Me, yeah, and I was like, let's go get burgers. He like was along for the ride. It was really sweet. Okay, next part here. So improve your conversion rate. I'm just gonna slam for this because I want to make sure you. Okay, so once you understand what your conversion rate is, you can move from E to P. Have you guys heard E to P before? It's moving
Yeah.
from entrepreneurial to
Oh, yeah.
purposeful. E to P. Actually goes this way. You're looking at it. Do you, so I guess that was day one that they talked about it from the 6 personal perspectives. So this is when you get more purposeful and improving your conversion rate, gaining insight and getting more purposeful will ultimately bring you more closed transactions. Some activities that you can engage in to improve your conversion rate might include time block for lead conversion. If you erase it, replace it. So make sure that you time block time, like I said at the very beginning, half of your time should be lead generation, the other half should be lead follow-up. So you need to make sure that you're time blocking and protecting that time. If you erase it, replace it, and I say, if you need to move it, if it needs to go, you need to move it. I don't delete it, I move it. Google Calendar, easy, grab it, you move it. You do not delete it. Use conversations and systems. So practice conversations, dialogues, asking for the close, mastering buyer and seller presentations and relationships. Conversations are a powerful tool that can help you say what you need and intend to say the most, and what you intend to say in the most powerful and impactful way. So like what they're saying in that conversations, they're saying conversations are going to get you further with people than a compelling Facebook post. You know what I mean? You can have all the data, and I love data. You know, all the data in the Facebook post, most people aren't going to read it. If you can have a conversation and translate that data into a way that it's going to get you a lot further. Using systems that support lead conversion in your business. So MAM is one of those systems. Systems make sure you take the right steps at the right time and continue to keep and gain mind share. And also these systems, so the lead conversion system. So don't neglect any part of your database. Reconnect with each person, and when you do, also ask for referrals. So if somebody says, "Oh, you know, I'm not really interested, and I love my house. I don't think we're gonna leave up," they'll drag me out by my feet or something like that. You know what I mean? People always have some sort of saying they like to say. say, okay, that's great. Is there anybody else? Or it's not, is there anybody else? Because you never want to ask a yes or no question. You want to ask, who do you know that might need to buy or sell real estate or is even interested in investing? Who do you know? I always say, who do you know? That's the most influential tip I can give you. Who do you know? Don't say, do you? Who do? Yeah. Okay. Yep, so conversion activities are not just for leads, they're also for your sphere of influence, your contacts, the people that you already know. If you come from care, curiosity, and contribution and get back in relationship with past clients. So know who to prioritize as well. So prioritize your leads. An upcoming session with the lead follow-up segment, you learn how to prioritize potential clients and prioritize converting those qualified leads while still working on the rest of your database. It's good that they say that kind of stuff because then I kind of go down a rabbit hole and I'm like, somebody else is going to cover this. Why am I talking about it? Okay, so every lead has the potential to turn into business. And as you have already heard, there are no bad leads. With the lead conversion model, you've learned to capture the appropriate information so you connect with the lead, connect to assess their needs and establish a relationship, cultivate the relationship. Not all people will convert directly into an appointment, so use touch campaigns to stay top of mind and keep that mind share. And you will close by asking for the appointment. You're in control of this. Ask no one else. The client is rarely ever going to say, okay, when do we meet? Like never. Like that's cool if they do, but it's like never.
It is, it's never, just
Never,
waiting
never.
for you to say when you're available.
Yep, exactly. So if you ever get the sense that somebody is like ready to go, just ask for the appointment. Like you can talk yourself out of an appointment too. So do you guys have any ahas?
Yeah, I need to make a phone call.
I'm right.
After all that and hearing everything, I need to phone call that guy today.
Heck yeah. Wait, recap and ahas. I feel like that last slide really recapped everything we talked about for the most part. Okay, success system. Some success system items that you're supposed to be doing. Oh, TCPA, do not call people on the, do not call list.
I didn't find out. No, you know,
If
Yeah,
you're a
I
friend
was-
of yours and you already have them in your phone, that's different.
Yeah, so inlet, this is only.
Anybody
applicable-
contact that I have in my phone.
Yes.
It's basically, I don't have to worry about it because they've already given me permission. to get
We
the call.
also want to be careful how you're approaching, it. You're their friend, right? So.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, have you guys, anybody weren't done the TCPA thing? I just feel like it comes up on every single one, but then everybody
Yeah,
seems
they
surprised.
talk
to do it.
about this all the time, but they don't,
Yeah.
they don't tell you how you get on.
So it's, you go online, if you just look up the do not call list. That was the answer I got when I asked in front of everybody at team meeting like a year ago. I was like, how do you find that? I've never worried about it because I don't buy, yeah, I just looked it up. I don't buy leads and all of my leads come from people actively giving their information to me. Whether it be through a Facebook ad or a contact. Yeah, so that's just, you really only need to worry about it if you've got.
If you're like cold calling,
Calling,
like
yeah.
you're just going down
Or-
the phone and going.
Yeah, phone book type of situation, yeah. So, just keep this in mind. I engage every conversation in the spirit of contribution and people are happy to be in relationship with me. So that's one of those things, like I said, I hate it, but honestly, I can't get off the phone. I can talk to people for hours. And so I shouldn't let it be one of my fears. That's an opportunity to create a relationship and cultivate a relationship.
So when I was newer, and wanted to get that experience, I went through every person in my phone, figured out, okay, I know where this person lives, get their address. And when I would make my call, I just told them, hey, I've been in your area a lot. Guess how much your phone was?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
You did that?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
So you would just, you're just practicing your CMAs with your friends, just being like, I'm just calling my friends because
Why doesn't everybody do that?
Yeah, I've been studying your neighborhood and I know you love your house. And guess how much it's worth right now?
Right.
Because that's a much softer approach because then you're not like, hey, are you moving?
Yeah.
So it actually makes it So they start seeing you as a source. Hey, they know what's going on with my house and my market. So maybe they can help my kid out,
Right.
you know?
Mhm.
Or
Love that.
my sister or my mother
Right.
is like looking for a flip tip.
Yeah.
Cause I had a guy tell me that today too. I had one other one that kind of threw, that I wasn't sure about how it worked out, but he said he wasn't really looking to move for about 5 years. But then he kind of flipped it and was like, but you know, my mom and them are kind of thinking about it. And I was like, oh.
There,
Yeah.
So
yeah,
Their contact information.
yeah,
I was just kind of like, whoa, okay. I was just asking little questions to people today, like just practicing.
yeah, well, you can ask them, well, what's special about 5 years from now? What's-
That's, I did ask him that. I was kind of like, well, maybe you want to move sooner because he's living in, oh no, I said, he lives in Daybreak, and I said, you know how much your house is worth out there right now? And he was like, what? And I was like, I can find out for you if you'd like.
It's very good, it's very good. That
Because my sister
sounds
just
like
bought a
something-
house
Yeah,
just outside there, so I know that the prices are roughly in the
Ridiculous.
800,000, so I was like, I can find out how much it's worth for you.
yeah,
Cause you know, you throw a price at them and sometimes they're like,
yeah,
they don't realize how much equity they built up or whatever.
right. Better call him back and get his parents' phone number.
Yeah,
Seriously.
well, I'm
just
gonna, I'll
be
see
like-
him tomorrow, so
Oh,
I'm gonna get all his information.
Yeah.
from him.
be
I
like-
sent him my business card thing, the actual business card thing.
Okay, so,
Strengthening relationships. This is, you just click right and left on there,
okay,
and then, you got the guide there. I'm like, they only sent me the guide for mine.
this is how my days went.
Do you wanna email it to me and pull it up on here? Yeah.
Love that.
I'm like, so got solution oriented, gotta find the solutions.
What's your email?
Jesse dot, so JESSE dot KU Realtors at Gmail. I'm like, I wish, and I'm like, you only sent me mine, and then I'm like, you can send me yours. If you only got 33 pages, yours is gonna go quick, I feel like.
Have you guys done the disc test?
I don't think they have this.
It's
Uh,
going right there.
DISC. CS. This is SC, DISC, so it's personalities. You actually made me think about that, and I thought that I was a high I, and now I can't remember. I think I'm a combination BI. I can't.
Is that the one where it tells
Yeah.
you like which position in real estate you feel most like?
No.
That way,
Thing, is it that they've been supposed to do?
oh, that was a KPI. KPI is similar.
Oh, yeah, I think I took that one. Eden said.
No, I haven't done it yet.
So
Still trying to
KPI
catch up with all the emails. I sent.
skill set, and according to your personality and all of that, it tells where your personality would best fit within side real estate. I've decided it's pretty accurate. Because I created a team, and then I was like, oh, like this.
100%.
Yeah.
As soon as I became a manager anywhere I was at, I was like, this is the worst.
I've been a manager in sales before real estate. That's what I did. It's management in sales, and I was good at it. I hated it. So, like with a team, it's because you become very intuitive with real estate. You learn how to read body language, and I'm trying to remember some of those books. They have books that teach you.
Oh, there's a ton of really good ones. I started exactly what to say in real estate, the one that, oh my gosh. Birdners, what's his name? Corey, yeah. Recommended, and I love it. The first chapter, like, so what was my takeaway from the first part of it? Now it's gone. I had it earlier. But it was really good. So exactly what to say in real estate. Read that first. Every book you
So
read,
good.
it was, yeah, I'm like, oh my gosh,
It's written by somebody that actually did,
studies, right?
they would sit in the courtroom and they would decide who's lying. read the body language and that stuff's like, it is spot on. So I want to introduce myself. My name is Jenny Erb. It's been almost 15 years since I've been in real estate. I love it. Once it gets in your blood, you are doomed. You are.
I was
No
a
matter where I
ground
go.
job hopper before this, and
Oh.
I'm like, I'm never leaving.
Yeah, well, because the reason is because, it's up to you, right? Whether you succeed or not. And I became such a nerd, no matter where I go, I'll go on vacation. Much this, and I'll start calculating, such a nerd. But it does get in your blood, and it's also the way that, millionaires are made. And you can become one by helping people. So first, I'd love to know your names. Dustin, and why did you decide to?
So ultimately, I've always liked real estate. So you gotta back up like 20 something years ago. I actually bought a house, bank owned property.
Oh.
I went in. I offered I followed you ever heard of Carlton Sheets? He was some guru guy, he had some program, I bought it, right? I watched it, but I didn't understand it. So I sent it back, got my refund, I wasn't quite. My brain just wasn't wrapping around it, I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah.
But then fast forward a year and a half later, and I decided I was gonna buy this bank-owned property. And I found it, and I went and looked at it, and it just really had cosmetic damage, really. It
Yeah.
wasn't really anything, I just repainted it, put new carpet in, put some tile down, and boom, I had 15,000 in equity in my house, I was like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Making money, honey.
Yeah, I
That's awesome.
offered 12 grand or 12% less than what the bank wrote on it.
Right.
So that, I always wanted to buy another one, but then I ended up getting divorced and had to pay child support.
Yep.
And my whole life kind of has been, for the last 20 years, I've just been paying back everything that I was owed, so I'm sort of like finally got where I'm good and
Fresh start.
yeah, so I was like. I have a good career doing what I'm doing.
What do you do, right?
I'm a driver development instructor for FedEx Freight. I
Yeah.
make pretty good money for what I do but I've always had this little thought in my brain, like, man, I want to get back into this. Cause I did it at one
Always does.
time and I seen how fast that money was and I didn't ever get any of it because I ended up having to give it to my ex-wife, but I just always had this like want or drive to become a realtor and it's just always kind of fascinated me. I like homes. I was a home inspector for a little while. I did that under my dad. So.
Yeah.
Just sort of one of those things that's sort of
Sounds
always
like
kind
it's
of,
already in your blood.
yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I
Do
just,
you have your license already or?
I
almost?
do, yeah. I just got it on Friday.
Congratulations.
Thank
Here you have like, what sounds like two ready to go leads here.
you. One for sure, possibly.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check on that other one
I'm
tomorrow.
so excited.
I'm Kyson. I got into real estate because I've always been kind of interested in it, mostly in the investment side of it. My dad and I are like best friends and we love investing in business and stuff. He's doing real estate technology up in Idaho right now, and
Oh,
he just got
cool.
his license.
What part of Idaho?
Southeast Idaho,
Town?
Idaho Falls.
Okay, I was a Snake River girl.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm from Rigby. He
Oh,
works in
yeah.
Idaho Falls
Holy cow.
with Anderson Hicks Group.
Yeah,
If you heard of them.
it does sound familiar.
They're like the biggest group.
Are
the
they, they're
biggest-
KW.
Yeah,
aren't
they're
they?
KW.
Yeah.
They're like the biggest team in
Oh,
Southeast
so
Idaho.
how sweet. We're just on this side.
Yeah, so he does technology for them, and then he just got licensed a few months ago, and so I was always interested in like the investment side, and now I'm getting into the agent side, and I really like it a lot.
Sweet. Maybe you could take care of your technology as well too.
Yeah,
'Cause, we were talking a lot about the systems today. And those are really important. It will make you sound like badass.
I was telling them, leads, leverage, and listings. Leverage, when you're a first agent, systems are your leverage.
If you don't get that habit now, you will be pissed. They weren't. It's gonna make me sound really. That wasn't a thing. For me, and I did not start originally at Keller Williams, I started at a smaller mom and pops thing. And the problem is they had no will. You had to invent your own, and I thought, why am I doing this? Why am I trying to invent will? They have will. These bigger offices, and I really wish I would have started at Keller to begin with.
Tried and true systems.
Yes, yeah,
Other brokerages use Keller Williams books.
they do. And we have a really relaxed, environment here, because business can be really intense, so it's really nice. I love it here. I've probably interviewed every brokerage. I'm like, I'm still good. I'm good to go here.
I love that.
Nobody's tempting me to leave. It just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make sense in numbers or culture. So, okay. So strengthening relationships. This is really my cup of tea on this.
Oh.
There
There you go.
Okay, so we're gonna just jump right into lead and follow up. Keep your eye on every lead, right? Keep every lead. So you can do that within the command system. So as soon as possible, do you already have your people in there?
No,
Tyson?
no, I'm
He's-
still in school,
He's
so I,
in school,
Okay.
so I don't staff
Okay.
those yet.
We'll start gathering. So what you can do in the meantime, inside your phones, save everybody in Google, try to do research, find their addresses, get all their phone numbers, get all the emails, get it all accurate. And then when you drop it in, it's just gonna go boop, boop, it's done. Because you just connect your Google directly to it.
Cool.
So you want to keep every lead. So today in the third session, we're talking about lead, follow-up, strengthening relationships. And our goal is to extend your knowledge and include follow-up with contacts and explore the tools you can use for leverage. Okay, so, we have. Oh, strengthening relationships, sorry. Okay, before we begin, let's hear about progress with the success system. Oh. Okay. You see, for example, okay. We only have 2 people in here, so this is gonna be not an exciting game. But you know what's really good about having only 2 people in here? It's all about you guys.
Good one-on-one.
Yeah, it is good one-on-one. So, what kind of, Kate? I have to skip this.
You're good.
Makes
That's
more
the tough
sense.
thing.
Yeah.
Some of it, it's not the way that we would speak.
No,
Not the thing that we would say.
okay, so your brief agenda for the day, we're going to talk about. This is what our daily routine looks like. Okay, first of all, when you wake up in the morning, you gotta establish your mindset. Okay, a lot of people, and this isn't on here, but this is something I practice daily. You know, when you first wake up in the morning, what do you think of?
Coffee.
And what else? Coffee.
Got me, I gotta get ready for work.
Is
Start
my
thinking
baby
about-
crying?
Start thinking about what happened yesterday. Right?
what you're gonna do today.
Yes, and it's wrong. When you first wake up, you need to establish your mindset. You need to train your brain instead of going back, repeating the past. You have to be forward thinking. So every day, when I start to wake up, I start to feel, okay, I'm a little bit of a. I start to try to find a little bit of a good feeling. I don't care if it's the sound of a bird or the fact that I know my cute little poodle's sitting at the foot of my bed. I'm trying to find a good feeling. And then, you know, just kind of get that vibration and move forward thinking. So looking behind you, you don't want to repeat your past. You got goals ahead of you. So don't look behind. And you get your mindset in the right direction every day. And coffee for sure. For me, it's definitely part of my morning ritual. I will go sit on my front porch and I will drink coffee and I will look at that mountain. Take it all in. So that I can get my mind right and happy to
It's-
start the day.
So important because you get stressed out a lot in this job, and if you wake up stressed out, the rest of the day goes to crap. Like you have to give yourself permission, get yourself in the right mindset before you touch your phone, your emails, text messages, Facebook, none of it. You
Yeah.
gotta get your head in the right space before you touch that so that you're ready to react appropriately.
Correct. So our goals here today, they're gonna be, we're gonna apply the follow-up principles and the leads to contacts, create the 36 conversion touch plan, and design a MOFR message to generate interest. You know what MOFR is? I had to look it up. It's kind of weird, but it makes,
Make offer for immediate response.
yes.
Yeah.
And then develop a strategy to grow the number of contacts in your database.
MOFIR. Make offer for immediate response. That's one of Dalton's favorite things to shout out. That's the only reason I know.
Make offer for immediate response. You can see that he's definitely read the books.
Yep.
And develop a strategy to grow the number of contacts in your database. So this is one of the reasons why I'm like, get in your phones, get all the information. If you got somebody in there that you call her cutie Susie cute, you should probably change your name to the right name. Because when you connect your phone to command, you want everything in there as much as possible. And we will also teach you how to grow that database. You did it just by making the one phone call. You're gonna get his parents' phone number.
I actually downloaded all my contacts to command. It
You
somehow.
did already.
I don't know how I figured it out, but somehow I did it.
Very nice. You're smart, that's why. Okay. Oh, we just talked about it. What mindset do we need to adapt to have a successful nurturing relationship with our contacts? Mindset does go more than just the morning, okay? People work with the agent whose emotional proximity to them is the strongest at the time that they're ready for a transaction. So how do you think you make that happen?
They have to have the right feel for you. Like it goes into that feeling, like who you vibe with. I know people use that a lot, but vibe. Like if somebody's gonna, or jive, I say jive a lot. You jive with me. Yeah.
True.
If they jive with you, yeah.
You guys know Luke? Oh.
Ballister?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he sold me my house.
Okay.
And I totally
You
vibe
got
with
into
Luke.
it.
Every time we went to look at any house,
Yeah.
it was just, we were going back and forth with just silly stuff, you know?
Love that. Now I had, you learn to read your clients too, but you want people that are gonna be who work well with you, how you work and, you know, just have very similar vibes. Like I find this isn't necessarily my personality type or my sense of humor, but I tell this joke, tell this story all the time. But they would make jokes about drowning each other in the bathtub. The bathtub wasn't big enough. They'd be like, oh, nope, I'd have to hold her all the way under. It's too difficult. You know, like,
Yeah.
so then when we
So
found the
fun.
right house, I was like, oh my God, the bathtub's big enough. You could definitely swing in there. You know, and you just, you know, you gotta find the right people with the right, yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah.
I got a question. I feel like I should just be myself, like try to be
Absolutely.
who I am. Don't try to be phony.
Yes.
Don't try to be
Correct.
like I'm not a suit person. I don't see myself dressing as a suit to go meet clients. Maybe down the road somewhere, maybe when I'm going to something, but I feel like I'm more of like
It
I'm
depends on
sort
your
of like a
client.
surfboard bum. I walk around in beach shorts and
So
flip flops
to
every
your
day.
point, to your point, it's one step nicer than your clients.
Yep.
You need to, because like when you go to an open house or something, I've had this happen before, it's very embarrassing. My client was a banker.
Oh,
Always looked Dutch, right?
Yeah.
So they thought I was the client. I was like, that's
Oh.
embarrassing.
yeah.
So you never want that to happen.
Yeah.
So you, like, what you have on is actually fine.
Mhm.
Because you have a plain color polo and you're wearing, you know, you just try to keep things
Yeah.
simple.
I always, for my first meeting, I dress in like a blazer, a t-shirt or tank top underneath that's nicer material, and then black pants. Might be black jeans, might be slacks, but I just, you know, it depends on whether, always pants, always have, it's a casual blazer. Just, and then I fill them out, and if they're pretty casual, I feel free to be pretty casual and I with them. If they seem kind of buttoned up, maintain a little bit of button up here. But yeah, you just you wanna kind of match them, but like you said, one step up.
You see how Luke dresses when he shows houses, polo, right, jeans,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
there you go, so easy
Half
for
the time
guys.
he's in the ring with.
Yeah. I guess I could wear a polo and jeans,
Luke's
but
hilarious.
I like to be a girl.
Well, and you just don't wanna intimidate somebody either, like some people will be so intimidated by you dress really nice. There's
Right.
moments where it's like that might work to your advantage, they might listen to you a little bit more, cause there's nothing rougher than when a client won't listen to you and you're like, "What the fuck, shut up."
Yeah. Okay, so listen, okay, so when you're working with somebody that's in that emotional proximity and you're like, ooh, this is the right one, it's time. As real estate professionals, we cannot control when this moment happens. So don't try to force it to happen. People be ready to buy or sell in their own timeline. What we can control is we can influence the emotional proximity to the people in our world through follow-up by controlling the frequency and the intensity of when we follow up. Are you social media people? Either way. Do you hate it or are you on it? Do you love it?
I'm on it.
Pretty mid. I don't hate it and I'm not like posting all the time, but I'm on it.
Okay,
That's me too. I don't hate it, but I'm not like.
right. So my point is,
I put it
don't
on.
try to be something that you're not. So in Keller Williams, we focus on, you always hear them say that one thing. What's your one thing? I don't know why it didn't click. Like last year, I was like, this lead source, this one, this one, this one, it was costing me thousands. And I said, I don't like this. And I canceled all of them except for one. So that's it's the one thing that I liked besides my SOI.
What is it?
I can't tell you.
It's a trade secret.
Also, I am a social media person, so are you.
Okay.
It's a love-hate relationship for sure. Consistency is key and strategy. That being said, speaking of, we can influence the emotional proximity to people. Do not get political, do not respond, don't be stupid. You guys need to be there,
Neutral, as
you need to
neutral as
be
possible.
neutral.
We are not a political person at all.
Nope. You have to, you really have to, bite your tongue. People get dumb and
There-
follow those things.
There are agents that'll say, no, be who you are, and then you only work with the people that you wanna work with. I'll be honest. That's great for her, cause she's a very well-established agent and knows what she does, but I'm tempted, I'm a very political person, I'm tempted all the time. No, don't touch it, don't touch it, don't say it, don't think about it. Cause it's so quick to alienate. Let me tell you how quick it is and easy it is to alienate somebody. So I was showing a house and I hadn't cultivated the relationship with these clients the way my business partner had. She had the relationship with them and then the person that was buying the house was on Zoom or on like a video call. And so we're walking through this house and they see this political flag on the wall and they're like, oh, gross. And I didn't reciprocate that with any of my body language. And I felt them pick up that I didn't reciprocate that and they did not want to work with me anymore after that. They were nice about it. It wasn't like they were like, but they just were like, we're gonna hold off. Like it was instant cool down.
You just have to be careful.
Yeah, so I'm not saying like jump in and rag on them, but that's how easily somebody can decide not to work with you. So posting a political Facebook post is many steps above just not
Just
reacting.
Do it.
Yeah,
I had an agent I used to send all of my Southern Utah business to. And he went on a terrible tangent. I'm like, we're done. Even if it did align with what my beliefs were, I'm like, we're done. Because that means my clients aren't safe to be who they are with you.
Yeah.
And so you have to be really careful, because we work with every kind of person. And they need to be able to be who they are. So right here, Gary says, know that growth comes from clarity, priorities, focus, and action. So we are going to talk about the way to do this, okay? So we drop in our leads into your database, right? So the difference from leads to contacts is. We have from leads, their relationships, you strengthen existing relationships. So a lead is basically somebody you don't know. That guy's parents, you don't know them yet.
Right.
They're a lead. But pretty soon, you're gonna get their phone number, have a conversation, they then become a contact. After that, we're gonna prepare your contacts for conversation and interactive needs-based offerings. So that being said, when you guys form your relationships, it is so important that you don't see them as a paycheck or a transaction. 100%. That's one of the reasons why everyone I knew, I was like, I know where they live. I do a CMA because I needed to practice, so I needed to understand the market. I've seen their house, I could figure it out. And because they know you wanna, you post on Facebook, or you should have posted by now. Guess what, you guys, I'm so freaking excited. I got my real estate license.
I did.
Yes. So, and, so at this point, people are gonna start being like, oh, I wonder if he's gonna make it, right? It's an 80-20 rule, and stick around, so.
Yeah.
When they look at you, like if somebody's like, well, you're new to state, but have you seen who's behind me? That little Ballster,
Right.
Sean Janke, like the people that are behind you, you have 200 off agents in here. And one thing you will quickly learn is that we're all here to help you. There's plenty of homes to sell, there's plenty of people. And it was such a life changer for me. If anybody calls and says, hey, I'm not quite sure how to write up this contract. How do we know?
I love writing contracts so much. Give me any opportunity to write a
I know.
contract.
Yeah.
That was my favorite thing, I think.
Yeah, or, hey, this is the situation with this person, what would you say to follow up?
I really did that.
Yes,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
as you know, listen to that feeling, both of you really felt like, I wanna do this. More and more, you will start to listen to, okay, this one feels like panic. That's not a good feeling. Come over here, this one feels good. I'm gonna follow through on that feeling. You really learn to listen to your instinct. In this business for sure. So,
So this is the drum section of the pieces that we saw in the last class. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that's right.
Mhm.
correct.
Yeah, so we capture your database is that drum section.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so the question is, what is the difference in doing contacts and leads? Is it important?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Repeat back, what's the difference?
Between a contact and a lead, contact is a two-way conversation, someone you've had a two-way conversation.
Yes,
Somebody who already kind of had communication.
exactly. But what about the ones in your phone? Are they?
I mean, there would be leads, probably because you haven't had that two-way conversation, even if you know them. Even like with them seeing me being on Facebook already today, I put my thing on there, that was in Keller Williams now, and a life-changing event and all that stuff,
Mhm.
Some people were texting me and be like, did you quit FedEx? I'm like, no, not
No,
yet, I'm
no.
working on it.
But you know what's really great too, is when you can't let go of your other job. I know other agents. Why would you want to be with a part-time agent? But the way you're gonna handle that is you're gonna be like, I'm partners. My partners are at Keller Williams, it's not just me that's here for you, it's so and so. I assume it's helping you.
Not yet, but he has reached out to me and
Yeah.
congratulated me and stuff like that.
Right.
But I'm sure if I said anything or asked him for help, I'm sure he'd be right there.
So as you guys get familiar with people at the office, find the ones who are most encouraging to you. There's nothing wrong with calling them. I have people call me. What would you do in this situation? Everybody needs a sounding board. So make sure that you guys know that we have that here at the office, and make sure it's a very positive influence in your business.
We're all a team, like come to team meetings and stuff like that, come to events. Like, I honestly, that was my biggest downfall when I very first started. Cause I didn't have a transaction for 5 months. I did not plug in, and they had Ignite at the time, and I only went to like 2 classes, and I didn't come to team meetings, because I was all shy and weird about everything. No,
Yeah, you'll get lost.
yeah, come participate, and you've got a whole, very large.
Right. Okay, so with a lead, we have the person's name, we have a way to contact them. We know more about them because we have conversations with them, we've communicated. We might know their first, if they're a first-time home buyer or real estate investor. What you really need to do inside the system is put those notes in. So as you make those calls, hop on command, write the note under there, because guess what's gonna happen? When you call them again in a couple of months and you're like, oh my gosh, my company's throwing on this carnival and you have to bring your kids, like you guys have. And you go to call them again and you look at your notes and you're like, hey, by the way, how's your kid's ankle anyway? And they're like, oh, you remember that? Of course you do, because you took notes. Yeah,
But their kids' names and their pets' names in there. There's nothing worse than like I come up to my clients at an event. What did you? Oh, I hate that so bad. I'm like, oh, and you get to know them because you're showing them like 10 houses and your besties. You can't remember their kid's name out here. Put it in there. Make sure you write everything down.
so remember, what is the third C in the W 14C 2TES? And what is it?
Get a friend and
Third C is communicate.
What does it mean?
Seek first to understand.
Seek first to understand. So like if you're giving them a call, have you guys had any practice or idea? Like I'm just calling one of my friends. Do you want to see how that would go down? Okay.
Hey, Jenny.
Hi, Jesse. How are you doing?
Oh, just dandy, just got done with work for the day.
Oh, how are you? Where are you working again?
Oh, I'm at the office at KW.
Are you the realtor? I'm the realtor.
I know. I'm just,
Be
I'm
something
in the
else.
office.
Be at the school.
I'm at the school with my kids after school, watching them run around on the soccer field. It's so boring. What are you doing?
Man, I'm just finishing up with a meeting at my office and I just drove through your neighborhood the other day and
Oh,
it's so pretty up there. How are you guys liking it up there?
oh, we love it. I mean, we live there.
It's
And
true.
It's nice. The neighbors are nice. I need to meet more of them.
Yeah,
I only know like the 2 around me. I keep thinking because we've been there for 5 years. I keep thinking I need to meet more of my neighbors, but yeah, we like it.
yeah. Are you guys still fitting in there okay?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, they've got a nice Facebook page.
yeah. So I actually have another client looking in that area and I was just really curious about it, but I've been doing some market studies in that area. Do
Okay.
you have any idea what your house is worth now?
Only what Zillow tells me.
It's so wrong.
Isn't it?
Yeah, so
Okay.
let's do this, because I think it's always really, really smart to know how the market's doing in your area.
Okay.
I'm gonna set you up on just an automatic thing, and you can see what all your neighbors are listing for. Does that sound fun?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, why not? And then I'll even dive a little deeper, just for giggles. I'm just gonna run a market analysis on your house and you can see how your value is going now. How does that sound?
Oh, okay, sure, yeah.
Cool, awesome. And by the way, do you know anyone in your neighborhoods who's selling? Since I do have some clients up there who are looking.
Like I said, I'm not really connected, but I'll keep an eye out. If I hear anything, I'll let you know.
Yeah, that'd be great. Hey, by the way, what's your best email?
Oh, it's Jessie@kw.com.
Sweet. Okay, I'll text you when I have that email sent to you and I'll talk to you soon.
Great, thank you.
Okay, good to hear from you.
You
Bye.
bet. Bye-bye.
So that's what it looks like. Okay, so you're not like getting in their face and immediately asking because they're your friend. Okay, don't make it weird.
Yeah.
I'm the one that will make it weird.
Yeah.
Like I said, 2-hour conversation.
Relationship is key. Clicker. Oh, and here we are. Know that growth comes from clarity, priorities, and focus on action. Hey, that is different than,
That was the same one. Did you go?
oh, I
back
went
one?
back. Sorry.
You're good. There we go.
Okay, focus on building relationships and then take the market share. So, that being said. I'm trying to do this. And I don't apologize for it. Do you have any extracurricular activities that you'd like to do in your communities?
In the community, like involved in the community.
Voluntary,
Oh,
Not voluntary, like.
like your hobbies, like
Hobbies,
do you like go
basketball.
to week nights
Oh.
or?
Hmm, I like to play disc golf, but that's not really involved with,
That is 100% its own thing.
yeah,
Yeah, but then at the same time, you do have friends that you run and play with
yeah.
on that turf.
Mhm.
Like, that's your community. Okay, so a lot of people, they're just not quite sure how to reach out to their neighborhood.
Uh-huh.
Well, it's the people that you're around, the people that you enjoy. We're gonna go play disc golf. We're gonna become friends. I like you. I'm gonna help you find a house. And I think that if people don't have that connection with you, they're gonna go somewhere else. And on top of that, you only wanna work with people that you like, so you need to make that emotional connection with them. You need to be that. This is one of the harder things about real estate. We always have to be on. And that really sucks. So if you can't be on, walk away for that day, come back and be on. So no matter how people see you, social media, at work, you have your real estate night license now,
I do,
get after that,
I am.
yeah. And that's great, those are your people. And then disc golf, and where else are you working?
I work in property management for Greystar. For
You,
That's, I'm like, man, I don't know if that's a conflict of interest, but you have a bunch of renters right there ready to go.
yeah, you just have to be careful how you
Yeah.
approach that.
Yes.
right? Well, the cool thing is too, is when you tap into people that you know and you come across someone. Yeah, you can buy investment property. It's not as hard as you think. you know?
Yeah.
And so.
So, who's the managing agent on your property management?
I don't know, I just barely started
Oh,
not that long ago.
okay, that always fascinates me because it's such a strange thing. In
Yeah.
the state of Utah, the rental companies dominate our rental market.
Mhm.
Like, there's not a lot of leasing that happens on a real estate agent specific level. Mostly major companies, unless it is an agent owned property, where we're like, we'll list it.
Well, it's their jam. It's one of
Yeah.
the many ways that you can work in real estate, right?
That's true, that's
So-
true. So if you start your own property management company, there's opportunity there.
So you really could become the guru.
Yeah,
for
because.
people to buy their first homes. My oldest son bought his house when he was 22. Everyone's like, already? I'm like, there's not an age restriction. Well, there is, but it's 18.
Yeah.
Go buy a house, you
Yeah.
know? And now his house is worth double. So you could become that guru of, hey, how do you buy your first home? Like, how do you buy your first investment property?
Mhm.
You know, a lot of, like, with my middle son, it's hard to buy your first house. So guess what? I'm telling my kids, you better go buy a duplex,
Mm-hmm.
right? Rent out the
yeah.
other side.
House
There's
hack,
tricks. House hack.
house hack.
Yep, find some roommates and rent out that other side. This is how you're gonna start. So be that inspiration for, for that age group. Cause I know that I hear people my age and they're like, I don't know what our kids are gonna do. I'm like, we did it. They'll be just fine. They're smart. So,
They have a lot more
always,
resources than we do.
yeah, they'll be
than we
just
did.
fine. And then how old are your kids?
My oldest is 25.
Nice.
and, between me and my wife, we have 6 kids. And they're all, our youngest is 18.
Mhm.
And then, 2 at, 1 at 20. I'm sorry, I gotta go down the list. 2 at 22. And then 1 at 24 and 1 at 25.
Yep, so I actually get leads for my kids. And I will drive my kids, so.
Yeah,
Well, that's what
They're
I
my
plan
kids,
on doing,
Right?
yeah.
cause
Hi, Diane.
I kind of have a thought of one of them that's what I'm thinking. I'm trying to cultivate it a little bit.
Right,
He is, gay, and I was thinking, you know, there's not a whole lot of people that are trying to tap this market over here, and maybe I could get leads through him because, you
Yeah,
know,
you do gotta
There
be
is
careful when you say
actually-
bribe them though.
no, I'm not driving.
No, no,
Mine?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
can, they're my offspring.
that's true.
Your max.
250.
Yeah, 250. I've gotta point that out, just gotta be careful.
I read that.
Yeah, you gotta keep it legal, but yeah, the max
Yeah, he's
compensation
got a
you
lot
should
of
be for
friends.
referral. is good.
And
Yeah, well,
a lot of
they get
contacts on
really
that
excited about
side.
it. Right? Can
Yeah.
you $250, but really, they have to actually close. You know, they're excited about
Well,
that.
you gotta be careful, you gotta make sure they're not somebody that's gonna report you. Your kids are probably not gonna report you, but there's other people, like you can't entice by saying, I'll give you 250.
No, you can't, but they're my children.
Yeah.
I could say, send me your leads or I'm gonna kick you out. Yeah.
Perfect.
I'm gonna use my parents
That's
too. Parents live in St. George and they live in like an
Yes.
older community, like
Oh,
a retirement community, and people are moving in and out of there left and right, so. And my
Right.
parents know everybody there.
Mhm. That's perfect.
Okay, what do you think about this quote here? Today's conversation is tomorrow's transaction. What does it make you think of?
But I see,
Have more conversations, have more transactions.
Right, so is that one transaction? Do you water that seed one time? You keep it going, and that's why the CRM system command, that's why it's really important, because when you get that call, you can have it remind you. Put a note there, I'll call back at this time. And it feels really weird, but you don't wanna drop the ball on those relationships, and so that's why, it's really important to do that. How do you make sure you will have a harvest large enough to fund your big life?
that is the whole, that's, tell me that secret, that's what I want.
Okay,
Hard work, dedication, and follow up.
so,
Cultivating relationships.
see in session 11. Actually, do you guys know your big why? Why are you doing this?
I just wanna help people really.
No, wrong answer.
That's all I want.
So wrong
This
answer.
is my favorite thing about doing that the very first time.
Why do you wanna do it? Cause would you do it for free?
No, I always wanna make
Exactly.
some money, but I also enjoy helping people. I wanna see I wanna see, kinda like what Luke did for me. Helped
Yeah.
me get my house and he made it such a positive experience that I would like to bring that to other people.
Right, so let's dig a little deeper. So on that. By helping them win, you win.
Right,
Right.
yeah, I'm not saying I'm not gonna walk away with.
Right, but, and there's nothing wrong with your answer, I just want you to dig deeper, because we would never do what we're gonna do for free. Okay, and as sometimes people think that we make an astronomical amount of money. But we pay in an astronomical amount to run our own business, just like if you own FedEx, you're dumping in so much money to create those jobs for everyone. And so that's the part that the people don't see, but you do not ever discount yourself. You're worth every single penny. Because if you get in hot water, that lawsuit or whatever it is that's coming after you isn't going to adjust its fee because you did. Does that make sense? You're worth every penny, your knowledge and everything that you build and the knowledge and the deeper you dive in for your clients and their communities and you start studying where they live and you're like, I love disc golf, I'm gonna study up on this, I'm gonna post this, I'm gonna make a reel where I'm throwing a disc and it's gonna hit this guy's window. Just have some fun, whatever you do, but really, when you look, I want you guys to go home and reflect tonight, why? When you get that money, then what? You know, what's that gonna do for you?
For me, I can get out of FedEx,
There you go.
that's really the goal for me.
For me,
Which, yeah,
I've thought about it and my why is that I wanna provide like the best life possible for me and my wife and our future kids.
right. Right? It's a good nest egg.
Okay.
So,
Retirement, I'm looking forward.
right, and it keeps changing. So, yeah, I'm turning 50 in December and I'm Sally O'Malley. But
Same age.
right, well, I am once again starting over, right? So when you're talking about divorce, I know what it feels like to start over. It's not awesome. But I can't think of another way that you could form a retirement quicker. I don't want to count on something's pension. I want to create something bigger.
I understand. that, 'cause
Yes.
I look at I have pensions and 401k at FedEx, and I've been there 13 years. And I just look at it, and I go, there's no way I'm gonna get enough money in this thing to
Retire.
retire comfortably and live the lifestyle that I want. I don't want all this big fancy house or anything like that. I just wanna be able to go on trips and do the things I wanna do when I retire.
Correct.
So when we do business planning at the end of the year and anticipation for the next year, Marcus Green does a full session about your freedom number. So essentially it's
Oh,
you
it's so
take your, it's amazing. You take your assets that you want to have all paid off and you consider them all paid off, but what are their maintenance costs? And then you have your other lifestyle costs related to that. And then how much money would you need in a year to maintain that lifestyle? After everything's paid off, and that's your freedom number, and that's how much money you need to have in income coming in from passive income sources.
Right.
In order to maintain your self-retirement.
Yeah.
And I mean, the ideal is you want more, but that's your minimum number. In order to have freedom.
So it's 7:30 already. Clearly have a little bit of ways to go. But do you guys care if I hurry and rush through this?
No. Go for it, go for it.
Do you wanna write this one?
Yeah, once you meet your new contacts, you either do business with them immediately or you don't. Either way, once you've met them, you put them in your database and stay in touch with them forever.
Absolutely. So one testament to that is like Facebook. I've had people, 3 or 4 of them call me in the last year. I haven't spoke to them for a while. I felt terrible. But they see me on Facebook and they're active on Facebook. And they're what I call stalkers, right? Because they're following
Yes.
everyone else, but they don't ever say anything. So if you're comfortable more with being a stalker instead of posting, just comment on your friends' pages. Get in front of their faces, okay? Whatever approach feels most comfortable to you. So establish mindset, identify the goals, and you just talked about that, Jesse, so I'm gonna jump right over that. Lead gen, follow-up plus lead conversion follows to a transaction. If you keep that within command, everything in there, Allison teaches command, and when you guys first start, you can even join a coaching team, which I highly encourage you to do. It's gonna be uncomfortable, but if you can get surrounded by those people who are new like you and want to dive in, cream rises to the top. I've seen people, if they don't, they're gonna leave, right? It's the 80-20. You can make it. You can do
Yep.
it. It's in your blood, it's already there. So by you having a system that you're actually using and you can follow up with all of your leads and it will lead to a transaction. And those days then when you're like, I suck, nothing went well. If you are recording everything inside command, you'll be like, actually, it don't suck. I've been planting those seeds, I've been watering. So if you do that will really help you see you are doing everything that you can. It will help you see where you can improve as well. Convert contacts to close business. Mind share and positionings, sellers and buyers. Number of agents interview before choosing an agent. Wow,
I'm amazed that even 15% do 2 agents.
yeah, but they do. So the first one, it's one agent. Right?
For everyone. gets
Yeah.
hired.
So,
75% of the time.
correct. So this is what, in sales meeting, we were drawing cards and we had to have a
Yeah.
response, and it sucked, because I'm like, I'll go, and then he's like, you'll go first, and then I froze with, and you know.
Well, because we don't come across, oh, I'm interviewing other agents very often, so you wanna have like your clothes on that. That was what I learned out of that, I was like, I don't come across that often enough that if I did, I'd be like, oh, shit.
So I was thrown a
Sorry.
curveball, online because they said, you know, here I am talking with a guy, and then he's like, well, my wife set him up, and I'm like, you have a wife? She wasn't there at the meeting. Rule number one, never, ever, 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 ever meet with the one person on title. You need to meet with both. Okay, so, but what my response would have been, oh, who's that other agent? Who are you meeting with? Let's role play. Let's do it.
What do you mean? Oh, well, I got this other guy that he's a family friend that my family referred me to.
Oh, I can understand that. So I just want to make sure, is there anything that you feel I could do better or differently than what I presented to you here today? Do you like everything that you've heard?
I do like everything I've heard. You're sort of swaying me a little bit, but you know, I got this other person that, you know,
Yeah, and I can
kind of
understand.
feel like I'm connected because of the family. What can you do more for me than that you could do?
Well, first of all, I can understand that you probably feel obligated to meet with that person,
little
because family member. So you're happy with everything here I've showed you today, and I'm confident I could do the job for you.
Yes. But,
I wouldn't mind.
but there's the but there. You gotta go a little bit more, because, you know, I got this obligation over here that, you know, he belongs. to.
How about-
He's kind of our family realtor, you know what I
How
mean?
about if I took care of that obligation for you? I wouldn't mind at all. I'll give him a call and let him know that you already made a decision. Then you don't have to make it weird for yourself.
I mean, that might be an idea.
Okay, awesome. Well, let's go ahead and get started then. Let's not waste time.
I don't know, I'm still not quite there.
Yes, you are.
He followed up with you like I am.
No, I was trying to make it work for it.
So buyers are the same way. I actually do have a buyer's presentation. A lot of people don't have a buyer's presentation. I meet with them in person. I want them to feel confident that I am a good choice for them. So my buyer's presentation, I just barely formed it, but I feel like they're really important to have right now, especially with all this whatever stuff that's going on. But when you meet with them, my whole agenda was like, I had a notepad and I'm asking questions. Tell me, okay, where are you at currently? What don't you like about your living situation? What would you think would be perfect for you? And, you know, I would get them to start, blah, here's my dreams, here's my pains about what my current situation is. And then I say, okay, what do you know so far about buying a home? And if they're like, nothing, don't worry, I got you. You're gonna hold your hand through this whole thing. Have you spoke with the lender yet? No. Oh, cool. I have 2 or 3 that you should call. They're all tried and true, but it's always good to see which one best fits you. But I will send their phone numbers, and let's get you locked and loaded in that way so you feel comfortable before we move forward. And then after that, the biggest part of the thing is the buyer broker agreement. I go through it, and the biggest thing you want them to know is your ears like Dumbo. You're gonna listen for everything. You are their little spy. You're the indicator. So I tell my clients when I walk through a house, they're looking, oh, I wonder if Bobby could fit in this room. Yeah, that would be great. And, oh, what about the dog? Is it gonna be okay out here? I'm like this. I'm not looking for flaws. I'm looking for expensive things, right? I'm looking for things that could be detrimental if they go to sell the house again. Like you're on a highway, you know? So I don't talk them out of it, but I say, hey, just be aware, the reason why this is such a good price is because you're on Washington Boulevard. You know, are you guys okay with that? yes, we are okay. Just know, you know, if you're going to go to sell in the future, you may want to keep this as an investment property. You know, just, I'm looking for things like that, or if they're like, oh, that roof is shot, you're like, it's okay, we can actually wrap that into the transaction. Okay, I'm calculating numbers in my head, already kind of making an offer already in my head. And I'm watching my clients, so I have never had a buyer not sign with me. And I never take a buyer through a home without having them sign something. I learned it early on because I had somebody that they bebopped, they went and bought a new build home. And I was pissed because that builder accidentally sent my brokerage the check. And I got to see the first $14,000 check I've ever seen in my life. And that was a lot 15 years ago. And that's when I knew I was worth it. Nope, I won't, you know, and I just tell them, you know, by law, it's actually required by the state. So then that way I actually represent you and I am your protection. And that means I'm locked and loaded to protect you. I am your person. So they feel confident with that. And I said, guess what? If you ever feel like I suck, I'm not gonna make you stay with me. I'll tear it up. And that makes me feel good. So,
Is that legal?
Uh,
It lets
yeah.
them go.
you can do whatever you want.
oh, not tearing it up. You just sign
You
a,
avoid it.
yeah, you just sign a cancel.
You just avoid it. But you know, in that, I do tell them, you know, just especially with sellers. You know, if you felt like I wasn't, you know, making you happy, please give me the benefit of the doubt first. Let's have a conversation about this. And, you know,
I slide that in when I'm going through the buyer broker agreement and I say, and this is if we end up suing each other, this is what happens, but we won't get to that part. If you ever decide you don't want to work with me, just let me know. We'll release the contract, no big deal.
yeah,
And then they know, like, it doesn't have to be a big deal.
it takes
let me
off
know.
pressure. Because by the time August rolls around and you have your license, it's actually required before you take them in any home. You have to have an
I'm so
agreement.
excited about them. So
I
excited.
can't believe some states are just like that.
Didn't have it, like, that just blows my mind.
So when we're meeting with these clients and now we're at this appointment with them, we want to identify their goals. So I was digging in, trying to find their dreams. Same thing with the seller. You want to find their pain points with the house, but more you want to find what they want, because in this market especially, some of them are okay, like, oh, we'll just stay, we'll suffer a little bit. Be like, why would you? You know, and help them. It's okay to follow and be brave and follow your dreams.
Next 3% interest rate.
Well, there's ways around that
But
though.
yeah,
So, you want to remain top of mind and you leverage mindshare for referral business. So you guys really have to find what is your one thing. You're gonna hear so many ideas in here, it's gonna drive you crazy. You're gonna feel like you need to do it all. Well, I need to do Facebook, I need to do Instagram, I need to do TikTok, I need to do YouTube, I need to call leads. You don't. Find the things that are most comfortable for you and do them well. Okay? And the way you grow your database is exactly like calling this person, he said his mother would, great, I'm gonna add that person in. You're disc golfing, hey, you're a pretty cool guy. Do you mind if we're friends on Facebook? I definitely want to hook up again, I'm gonna kick you out next time. You know, grab their information, find a way to grab it. And then have your wife do it too. And your wife do it, it's important. Okay, try to hurry. Feel so bad. 7:30.
I think we're here till 8.
We are? Okay. So any ahas about that part, about relationships, how you convert them to actual. I guess this was about meeting with somebody, right? 75% were gonna go with the first agent they meet.
She mentioned that you guys don't often run into people who are interviewing other agents.
I do.
You do?
Yeah.
How
Get
do you-
one that I lost, you look at me like,
What
okay, I was like, nothing's
I was
what I
like,
thought, so I was like, did I lose one to you? That I didn't even
What do
notice?
you guys mean by that? Like, well,
They have more than one appointment, like they have an appointment with you. They have an appointment with that agent.
your friends are gonna know more than one realtor.
They're gonna know.
Oh, like we just
three.
did that role.
Yes,
Okay.
Yeah.
yes. So on our thing.
I got you. I'm with you now.
Yeah,
Like they're gonna have, they got an appointment with you and then they got two other agents they're probably gonna
Yep.
interview.
you wanna be with that first one. So actually, the key is anytime you're meeting with a buyer and a seller, that meeting is not about what you do for them. That meeting is about them. Period. And what do they want? The more questions you
Like a
ask.
wish list.
Yes, well,
I'm a high DC. I was wrong.
you're way wrong.
Yeah,
So,
sorry. I've been looking for it and it's taken a while to find my results again.
so that's, the goal is you wanna be the first agent in the door.
Mhm.
And then just be like, it's all right, you don't have to call Susie Q down the street. I mean,
Just
let
wrap
me
this
do
up.
that for you. I mean, you're already happy with what I can do. Let's just do this. Let's move forward and I'm gonna kick some butt. I promise you won't regret it. So, and just have confidence when you do that with buyer and seller. I always meet with them in person. I have an iPad. And I bring the contract with me and I explain it to them. I have them sign on the iPad. Everything else they can sign DocuSign. But that one, I want that motion.
I printed out, but then it's adding extra steps. And I have to scan it.
It's so
I need
awesome.
to. I have one. It just means I have to preload it and I'm not that organized. That's my,
When you print, you save it to a file.
it's so easy though to just go on the MLS and print it. I don't know. Do you have a Mac?
Yeah, so I go to the MLS and I say print and I save it to a file on my on my Mac.
Yeah, I got the HP. It'll work. It's just more steps. That's,
You can save it in your Google Drive.
then how do you just have them sign it through DocuSign on your iPad then and you pull it through Google Drive?
I just open it up on my iPad and
Oh,
touch the little pen and they sign.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
I like DocuSign. I like to have the little timestamp with stuff on it.
Do they do it with you?
Sign it in person.
On DocuSign? Cool.
Oh no, I think you can. Russie, the way Russie does it is she has it preloaded in DocuSign and she's ready to just hit send. And so then she gets there and she says, okay, I'm gonna send it to you, and that's her little tester to make sure that they can figure out how to sign stuff on. Did you get people that have a really hard time?
Can you make this up?
Oh. That,
I'll bet you
No,
sleep.
there's, I
Oh.
mean, do I need to see my notes?
my computer? It's,
Is it helpful?
you got 19,136 there? There we go.
Okay, so your database, we're talking about 36 step touch. You never ever want your people to feel like they're being sold to. So half of that 36 touch system that's inside command, half of them is reminders to you. Hey, you need to call this person or text this person. You need to do that. Those are part of the touches. And then part of them are the invites to the parties that we have. So we have 4 touches for quarterly phone calls. So we can count these. 12 touches that are monthly email, newsletters, market report, or a video. How can you make that feel less spammy? What do you think?
So monthly email, one of them could be your
The neighborhood
neighborhood
nurture.
nurture you. That's the
Correct.
easiest one. And I think honestly, I feel like that's the one people open the most.
True. And you remember how I was role playing with you earlier?
Mhm.
Would you like to know what your neighbors are selling for? Yeah, it's always good to know what the neighbor, the market is. Don't listen to TV. Don't listen to
Yeah.
those. You know what I mean? Have it straight from the
Reminds me, I had
source.
mailers that. I
Or
could
you
be
could,
writing my name.
Like what you did with her, like text them,
I hope.
maybe not every month, like, hey, I sent you an email, I sent you an email, but maybe like
Oh,
every other month, be like, hey, just a reminder, you got that email today, you can go check it out, just to nudge them in the right
Right.
direction. Make it
Well,
more
what's really
personal.
cool,
It
you
is kind of
can
like-
actually text that, so you made that link to
Spend
your
money.
website.
Spend money.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
have
Yeah.
it
exhaust-
so that
You
your
got
neighbor
exhaust,
can
well,
go,
you have your business cards.
So,
and other marketing.
Yeah,
you know,
just some flyers.
that would be a good one. So
Good
2
luck.
touches, promotional direct mail such as a magnet, a calendar, printed market report, etc.
If this is not your jam, don't do it,
Yes.
okay, cause it can actually cost a lot, it can cost a lot of money, but two touches, people like getting things. So say it's after an event that we have, and you send them a picture of them and their cute little kids together, it's fun, do stuff like that. Every event, party, movie screening together, get together, you're gonna call that says one touch? I disagree, that's
Yeah.
many.
That's multiple. I'd
Yeah.
say 3. So you give them save the date text message with a picture. What we usually do, like a little invite picture, and then send an email, and then you give them a call beforehand.
Yep.
Be like, hey, I'm just personally inviting you. Then you need to make sure you RSVP so that
Yeah, head count,
Cause
cause we're like,
Sean told, or what's that, Sean?
it is Sean.
He told us yesterday that another touch for an event is the follow up afterwards.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Or a thank you
Yeah.
card.
Yep.
and they'll-
What
So-
was the one that he had, where he did that formula, he actually made it to, where you hear that, Nick?
Yeah, it was for the event.
Yeah, well, no, he said instead of doing the 19. He was showing that you could just do this one and it would actually equal all of your touches. He had this formula worked out on board.
It was the 36.
I thought I wrote it down.
Yeah.
It was the
I wrote it
36
down.
number.
To connect, so this is to connect with them, and this is how we want to convert them to an actual client, so.
I think what he was talking about is that yesterday or the other day, Sean was talking about events, because like if there's 4 quarterly events. And you go through how many touches it is per event, like you were just talking about, there are 4 or 5 touches per event.
That's all you need to do.
Multiply that by 4, that's already 20 out of your 36 plus 26 bi-weekly
Correct.
emails, you're way beyond 36.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. He had it all worked out on the
And
board.
emails.
So that's how you do it for free. Like,
Yeah.
well, emails cost, but you have 5,000 a month free emails through KW. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah.
I don't.
Well, that's cool. Allison, when she was teaching the last class with Sean, I believe. Allison is a coach. She heads up the team to help new people get in the right habits, the right mindsets. She is a guru on command, and she will teach you how to do all that stuff. Plus, we have Chris and what's the girl? Lauren.
They keep calling her Shorty, but I don't know why.
I don't know why, she's taller than me.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and then of course, we have 4 touch telephone calls. And we gave you some good ideas about that. Hey, I drove through your neighborhood. 26 touches bi-weekly email offering some type of information or value to the customer. When I called and I asked Jessica, would you like to have this? Now she's gonna start looking for those and not feel like, oh, she's just sending me stuff now. You're actually gonna open it.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you got 2 touches for the events, get together and parties. And then 4 touches for promotional direct mail such as magnet, same fee. So it's just more touches and one to cement a high value touch that solidifies the relationship. You have just established and opens up the door for future interactions. Because doing all this, they know that you are their friend. Now, doesn't mean you have to be friends with everyone, right? So if your jam is calling up, making those 500 calls and move, especially with investing, you got to get comfortable with that. And what's really cool is here at Keller Williams at this, I don't think it's at all of them, but at some of the offices, you have to earn it. If you're one of the top 20% performers, you get to come to these meetings where it is people who are more seasoned. And so they need deeper information. And so they talk about investing. A lot of them are investors and they're there to help each other out. Because in our office here, and I cannot say this about any other brokerage that I've ever come across. In our office here, there are enough that they're like, we want to see you be able to get out someday. So it's not just getting out of FedEx, work yourself out of this someday so that you can retire.
The Millionaire Real Estate Agent book has the way to get there.
Yes.
We've got all the tools and support here.
Did they do it?
Uh,
Said that you got it during the morning too. Somebody put up. I don't know, I haven't been.
I'm not sure. I've had
Okay,
two
let's see
given
what
to me,
this
but they're
says.
not in the office.
Use the six connection. Use the six
Those are
connection
the ones that
questions.
we chatted about earlier.
Who are they, what do they want, what need to
What?
do?
Where, how, why,
Yeah.
what, who, when, where, how, what.
Yeah.
And how.
So as you go through your contacts on your phone,
Mhm.
start entering that information. Start saving that in there.
Author for immediate response.
I'm trying to find what page I should be on.
I mean, you're probably close to the end, but it was 33 pages, but 26 on the, thing. They always have like a whole bunch of them afterwards.
So I don't know when this is gonna happen, but I feel like it's a pretty cool thing that Command is doing. I hope it's soon. When you put your database in, there's gonna be a program that you can attach to your spirit. And they will tell you when that person is most likely to sell. They're looking at stuff, makes you look like a genius. And then, of course, look for the stuff for AI and stuff like that, find your groove. And I will say, my biggest lead source is, it is my sphere, it's Facebook. And, there's different ways that you can use social media, you can use it to run ads in and get total strangers. But you can also use it for people and be that source of information for them. One of my favorite people. He used to be with Keller Williams, and I'm so sad that he's up in Logan. He's hilarious. And so it's just following a format, especially on Instagram. It's so weird. He just follows this format, like he says. This is one he did in December. He's running. It's a freaking blizzard, and it's like attacking his faces. One of the nice things about living in northern Utah is being able to run at any time of the year. This feels so good. I can't believe this weather. And it's like being pelted in the face. And it's funny.
Yeah.
It makes people remember. And then
Yeah.
he also does these videos, and they're very informative. And there's all kinds of apps. There's a lot of stuff. So don't go out and buy everything. Don't get overwhelmed.
Canva's the only thing you really need. And we've
Canva,
got designs, which will be. My first
what is?
design.
Designs, please, yes.
I know, I heard that. I heard rumbling of that.
So Canva's cool, CapCut's really cool. If you guys play around with that, you can, have you seen those open houses where they walk in the door and all of a sudden it's like, stop here, and they're really funny. That could be your thing. CapCut, you can use it to slow down and do this and that. You can make funny stuff. I love CapCut. It's super funny. You can have a lot of fun on that. But sorry, I went down that rabbit hole. But you
Oh.
wanna make sure your leads are, like you said, who are they? What do they want or need? What do they do? When do they need to do it? The crazy thing is I am guilty. I have not done my database very well because I'm a squirrel. It's long and short of it. I had to have somebody help me keep, track of my database, but that's one of the reasons I have to have it inside Command, because I will forget. And I have done it a couple of times where I dropped the ball and somebody else got that deal. It really sucked. But that's the name of the game, and you just don't let it bother you. Just move on and get another. The busier you are, the less when somebody else takes some, hires another realtor, you won't even care. So if something hurts your feelings, get busier. That means your conveyor belt's not full enough. Develop your 36 touch plan. Make sure, so they do have templates in there. Don't recreate the wheel. But if you want to tweak things in there, to make it sound more like you, absolutely do it. I know you can connect videos. Videos are really important. Try to learn how to use Google, get reviews. It's really important. Get the reviews, and put it on, Facebook reviews and Google reviews. Anything you can do, get reviews. Think of a name for your business, let it be keywords, okay, and your name. But there's different tricks, that was also another route. Goal setting to the now.
I think it's supposed to say in the now.
I think it means turning your big faraway goals into goals right now. 'Cause
Oh,
it's doing math
goals
of like how
too.
many contacts you need to make today to get
Yeah.
your goal for the end of the year.
Oh, okay, so do we have that on there? You guys wanna do some math? I wish they gave this to me.
Yeah, so. It's,
Oh, okay, so let's just do this for giggles. Open up your iPhone. How many contacts do you have in there?
Yeah. Did you guys already do this exercise though?
Yeah.
They may have already done it, cause that's earlier before we do.
the goal setting.
Yeah, cause they had us calculated, and then, 'cause I think I had 210 or something like that.
You didn't do it.
I have
200, that's what I do.
275, so you're filtered to them, and then also, not just that, look at social media, who are your friends, and you know what you can do in Facebook? You can categorize them, classmates, or,
Do you want
They
to
live in
get
Salt
into
Lake.
command and start showing,
340.
because command can show you like the conversion and give you everything in the goal setting section. Does the math for you.
do you wanna show what that looks like?
Yeah. I'm like.
Oh,
Cause they have the smart plans, I can show smart plans and then other stuff. Like,
God, yes, I don't know how to do this stuff.
I had to ask to make sure I would know. Okay. Now, I think this big, again,
If you don't put your database in, if you don't have a plan you're working towards and you don't have the numbers in front of you, you will be like a hamster. You will just run yourself into the ground. So you want to be intentional with everyone that you know and keep them formatted in there. Then you can tell where your best time is spent. Like if one of your lead sources is work and it's not panning out, don't waste your time, switch your gear and go to something else that pays off. So I actually tag mine. Like you could do, your wife could have contacts at her work. And you could label them certain things, you know what I mean? So then you could best track, okay, where do I get my best source from? One of my biggest sources, I would say it is my biggest source, is my circle of friends. I have friends that go out with multiple times a week, all the time. Never stop.
the problem with having everything.
Huh?
Saved in there, saved in your stuff. Is I can't ever remember what my things are.
Thanks for doing this.
Absolutely. No. Wait, don't save anything.
Say never,
Never,
down below.
Oh.
There you go.
it's in my way. Okay, so I'm a team, so I got to go on my phone, so it's not showing you all team stuff, 'cause it's different. Okay, so goal setting, come here to reports. So this is command. Have you guys seen command yet?
I've seen glimpses of it. You didn't show me the neighborhood nurture
Oh.
thing, but that's it.
It's so cool. Okay, so if you go in here into goals.
Go back one, just one, sorry.
No, you're good.
This is why I'm saying to get all of your friends' information, so when you drop them in, all of those are green.
I don't even know how to scroll.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I know you can-
No, you're good, you're good. Mine's not looking very good right now.
Kind of looks similar on the whole. I think
Yeah.
I saw that on, when it showed the.
So now you can hop over to goals.
Off of each plant or
Oh,
whatever
yeah.
it be.
It's pretty handy. So, okay, so if you come down here. So goals, conversion rates, so say, so this is my goal for this year, and it's not pulling because I'm in my personal account, it's
Yeah.
different. So, my goal is to make, if you look up here, it says $140,000 in profit. I've estimated that my cost of sales is gonna be $14,000 and operating expenses is $11,800. So my estimated total GCI that I need to earn is $165,000. So based off of these kind of standardized conversion rates, I need to make 27,000 leads.
Are those
Reality
your
is-
conversion rates or are those just average?
These are
This
just kind of
this
the
is the system, they do it
systems
based
I've
on.
thrown in. The thing is the more, and I haven't been disciplined with my data, putting data in. If I were more disciplined, it would be different. Like it would show my conversion rate, my true conversion rate. And that's why I say it's essential to make sure that you're marking that it's a lead, because then your data will be accurate and it'll start tracking your accurate conversion rates. Because I'm not, this is all blank slate basically for mine. So yours will look very similar to this when you first get in here. When I make adjustments to my conversion rates, like by the time they're a contact, it's way more than 5% that they're gonna set an appointment with me. And this is like new contacts, you know what I mean?
This is somebody you don't know.
Yeah, somebody I don't know, yeah, brand new contacts. So my conversion rate after I've made contact with someone for the express purpose of cultivating them, there's a far likelier chance at 5%. That I'm
Probably
gonna-
closer to 80.
Yeah. I wouldn't say quite 80. I would want it to be 80. But the other thing that's good to know is your reports. So opportunity report is handy, but I find activities. Goals. Got it? Nope, I was looking at that. The goals tells you
Database.
database report. There we go. So,
Oh, cool.
so here, this is a fairly new section. I
Yeah.
can select year to date and it'll show how many activities I've done. So like people I've added to smart plans I've run, total emails I've sent out, total texts I've sent out from the system, total notes I've entered, and then neighborhood searches I've initiated. So, like you tracking your activity will help you so much. Like this is sad. But again, this is not my actual database. This is like my very first database, and then everything that I cultivate is. So it's not only 5% that have address.
Oh, I understand. Yeah, the
like-
numbers are different, cause I
Yeah.
actually, in the office, I still show as a team.
Oh,
I'm
you
like,
do?
why do I suck so bad?
Yeah.
And it's because every time I do anything, it like shifts it over to the
Into your
team instead of.
account. Yeah, it's rather than the, so here's opportunities. So here, when I say, okay, let me go back to this. So when you're entering somebody in, and I'm just gonna use my own here really quick. So when you enter somebody in, the little, you add a contact, this is kind of what it'll look like. So it'll have you enter their phone number, their email address, and their name. You can add a relationship if they've got somebody in there already.
Keep going, hit more information. This is what I think is fun.
Yeah, additional contact information, so you've got additional email, phone. or their
Social
preferred-
profiles,
Yeah, you can put their social profile in, so their Facebook URL,
but where they work.
where they work, yeah. The about is even bigger, like their birthday, their home anniversary,
Their
like,
spouse.
yeah, their spouse and stuff like that. Like, and then you can add custom fields in, so like, if you wanna add in a thing for,
Birthday,
kids' birthdays.
kids'
We've done
birthdays.
kids' birthdays in ours, and things like that to make it more personalized so that you're really cultivating a relationship and have the ability to like track all this data, you can search through this data. But right here, I just want to point out this mark as a lead. So when you first put somebody in order for your conversion rates to be as accurate as possible, you want to make sure you're checking them, marking them as a lead, right, first put their contact information in. Then when you go to when you move into their contact versus a lead, you come in, you uncheck that and you click save, and it'll
will
list that
track
as
it.
converted
I
from lead
see.
to a contact.
Okay.
Yeah. It took me a bunch of playing around to figure that out.
Yeah.
But that's one thing you want to do there. And then when you come in, you can, so I did, there's some really cool stuff here, so I just want to, you can see it. But I just found some really cool things today. So so here's like all the details about them. So like if you had created an opportunity, the opportunity would group start here. It's tasks, if you want to create a task, you can create a task here. Smart plans, if you added them to a smart plan, it would be listed here. So here's like where you, and then notes, so like you can add a note there. So you here, if you click here, you can add a note that'll add to their like account, their contact information in there. You can add an activity, and there's different types of activities. So it'll log if you did a meeting, a call, an email, a text, a note, or mailed them. And then you can add more details to that, so you know what your last contact or communication with them was about. And then you can also add a calendar event. This was really cool. It won't do it here because I won't do it, but it'll click and it'll, whatever Google account your browser is in will be the account that's initiated from. You can invite them. It'll automatically add them as a invitee, as a guest in your calendar event. So like, say you've got a meeting coming up with them, so you can add that to your calendar. When you're adding it into your calendar, it'll automatically add
Yeah.
that.
It's really smart. So before we leave, I just want to hit one thing if we could jump back over, because this kind of gives you steps of what your daily process should look like. So when she was explaining that, I had another idea of what you guys could do. Just call your friends and say, hey, as you know, I'm working on getting my real estate license, and it's really important to me that I'm really familiar with the market. Do you mind if I get your address so that I can study your neighborhood? And if, yes, that's so cool. Thank you so much. Do you want the results when I'm done with this? Okay, then that way it doesn't, you ask for their information. It's perfect. Okay, so I want to jump to. I just want to hurry and jump to the. We're gonna jump past that. Okay, daily systems, super important. Did you guys already see these? Okay. Maybe I'm,
Yeah, all right, go over again.
Did you guys hear about the 10-5-1 social media engagement? Okay, so it depends on who you talk to, but that's 10 likes, 5 comments, or personal messages. It depends on who you talk to. And then 1 is definitely a personal message. 1 personal outreach to somebody like, hey, I noticed this and this. Some people want you to do 10-5, 10-5-5. That's the difference. 10, so you want to do 10 likes or reactions, 5 comments of 5 words or more, and then 5 personal.
Instagram and Facebook are completely different, by the way.
Yep.
Completely different. We already talked about that. I engage every conversation in the spirit of contribution, and people are happy to be in relationship with me. So remember, when you make your calls, that's what you're doing. You're nerding out about how much their house is worth. Okay, then it's not going to be weird when you're like, how do you like your house anyway? Do you love it? If you live somewhere else, where would it be? Make it interesting. Have fun with it. Don't ever talk to somebody you don't want to talk to. Okay, so also role play 20 minutes a day. It becomes pretty dang easy, but you know, join the team, the coaching team here with Allison. Get those ingrained to you. You don't need to sound like a robot, but you don't want to miss a beat. You don't want to ask the wrong question or not ask the question, you know, so it's really important to already be in the habit and know what those are. Prepare your conversation list. So each day you want to keep track of who you're talking to, even in your social media. Maybe drop those in a PDF on your would you
Excel
suggest?
spreadsheet.
Excel.
I do an Excel spreadsheet, whereas you don't have access to Command yet. If you're just still doing outreach, drop it in an Excel spreadsheet, get their name,
Your
email,
Facebook people.
phone number, yep, and then if they'll give you that, it's great. And
I'm
then
sure they will.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then just log your interactions with them. So before I had Command access, I did first interaction, second interaction, third interaction. I just did this like note in the Excel spreadsheet of like, that's right.
So even if they're renting, what's your address? And if you weren't renting, where would you want to live? You know, what's your next move after you're, you know, done living in your parents' basement? Are you saving money, or what's your plan? You know, and
My ad that I just did, I was like, you hate your landlord, or is that
your mom.
Can't remember what I said, but I laughed so hard and I hope anybody that saw it laughed. I don't know if anybody did.
So you wanna make those calls every day, role play, so every day you wanna make that call list you're gonna call. You wanna role play for 20 minutes. Make your contacts, who am I gonna talk to today? Real play, lead conversation conversion, at least 45 minutes every day, just make those phone calls. You know, reach out to your friends. They like being surprised. Update contacts, follow up, do that for at least 30 minutes. You know, and when you start a to-do list and have that system to follow every day, it won't feel so daunting. Make sure you always schedule time for fun for yourself. And that's why I go out all the time. Work follows you. I've even had somebody, we were at a party and I was tipsy and she's like, how's everything going? I'm like, don't ask me not right now. Give me your phone number. I promise. You don't want to hear me right now. So she started laughing and I got her phone number. It worked out great. So okay, use the command and connect to get help. There's always somebody here to help you. Do not reinvent the wheel. You don't have to do everything. You're going to be shown lots of tools, and the reason why you're shown a lot of tools is so you can figure out what works best for you. Okay. Session 13, qualify potential buyers and sellers. Okay, are we done? Please say we're done.
I think we are. We're very
Okay,
close.
so do you guys have a mental list? Are you overwhelmed? Or are you excited?
Excited.
Doable.
Little of both.
Yeah.
My mental, or my anxiety comes from. It's
Yeah.
so much information, and
Oh.
trying to input, and
The basics, I'll show you, the basics are you just gotta, you want to make sure like,
well, like I did it on, I put those people in the one on the phone,
yeah.
they're not even showing. I don't know where I put them or where they ended up.
That's the thing, that got me a couple, more than once.
Go
Well,
with
there's
Chris.
one-
Chris is your guru to help you. He's super helpful.
Well, then even my
So-
contact list, I downloaded it, but it's not there.
Maybe you're not signed in right.
I don't know.
Who knows?
Sometimes it's just.
Show it to Chris.
But yeah, Chris
Show it to
will know what to do. But you, once you have your contacts in, then you create an opportunity. And. Let's see, so like, once you create an opportunity, this is amazing. Oh,
You made yourself a team?
Apparently I ended up on a coaching team.
oh no, that's good, that's.
Oh,
you're on
that's
the
where
coaching
you
team.
I think that's why my contacts aren't showing.
So does your dad use command?
What's that?
Does your dad use command or does he use a different one?
I don't know, my dad doesn't actually work as an agent very often, he's mostly
Oh, hey, look.
tech, he built a software program that does.
There they are.
Yeah.
So then.
Yeah.
Based off of. what
Oh,
you
yeah,
did.
he built it, so he just got licensed mostly because his partner is the team leader. And so his partner was like, dude, you should just get licensed. So he went and got licensed for credentials and all, and also just cause now he's in the real estate industry. So
I haven't, I haven't sent
he can
it.
do it, but
No.
I don't think he uses command, because we don't really have any clients, but he's on the website.
That's people you know.
So if you click
Yeah.
it, you know, last week you want to call.
I am in real estate
Exactly,
and you
that's,
should talk to my partner.
that's why he got licensed, so that
Yeah.
he can.
Only
have
people
the
that don't
conversation. Yeah,
It's freaking awesome. I think. I don't know, you died.
Throwing everything in the way. So,
Okay, I took up tons of your time.
you're good.
So your homework is to go home, go through your contacts. Write down all the categories of, you know, what is their social media? You know, how many kids do they have? You can start on this already. And you can say, hey, I'm getting my real estate license, and one of the things I really want to be good at is the market.
Yeah,
Would mind giving me your address so that I can run numbers and study your neighborhood?
yeah, I really appreciate the 2 prompts that you gave, because like I've been wanting to start reaching out more, but I was like, how do I start these conversations, but I don't
Yeah.
have anything to offer yet, so I like that, I'm gonna use those, like, I just wanna do more market research.
Yeah.
Give me your address, and I'll let you know what comes up.
Right, and just remember, it doesn't really matter how long you've been in real estate, if you're brand new, just like you have a team behind you.
Also, just because somebody's been in for years doesn't mean they're good. So, I don't have, I might have cards on me. If you guys want, if you ever want to call me with any questions or ideas, so like, what would you do? Or what do you think is the best situation or way to reach out to this person, or what would you do? I'm totally down.
That'd be great.
Okay? And I totally don't have any of my cards. But
I
if you
usually
want
don't
my
have
phone
the
number,
answer.
Yeah, okay.
my name's Jenny Erb, ERB. And my phone number is,
J-N-N what?
uh-huh,
Herb,
uh-huh,
ERB?
ERB,
Herb,
like the plant.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a gardener, I get it. Look, no,
I got
Where's
this
my
flower in
mistake?
the- 801-580-5660.
815805660.
Right,
it's not Herb, like H-E-R-B.
there's no eight,
Oh, okay.
it's French.
Let me fix it.
I don't think we missed anything. I think it was the end, was the ahas.
Thank you.
Hopefully your head's not spinning. Hopefully you're excited.
Yeah.
Oh,
thank you.
wait.
I think the key is to just make sure you're taking 3 takeaways from every single class. Just make sure, if you don't have any other notes, just make sure you write down 3 takeaways. That's my personal rule, because there's so much to learn, there's so many ideas, so much going on there.
Well,
And
Good idea.
relationship is key. They are not your paycheck, they are your people. Okay.
Cool.
Yep.
Thanks, guys.
Have fun.
Have a good night.
Thank you. Good to meet you.
Drive safe.
I hope
Thank
I
you,
was.
lady. Appreciate the class.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you,
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I'm excited.